This is the Buzz Adams Morning Show podcast. Barstool Talk Daily. Except it's really early in the morning and no booze. For the most part.
Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a town square media station.
Today is Thursday.
What are Thursdays?
Feeling frisky, especially on Thursdays.
Thursdays are for me.
Beautiful. Now, can we all please get back to work?
I can't work Thursdays.
When do you work?
Well, I'm something of a famous radio personality.
I'm a radio host.
I work at radio.
That's not a real job.
That's not a real job.
Radio people are the coolest. We're mass communicating. All right, let's do this.
Now we begin.
All right, kids, it's showtime.
From the KLAQ studios in beautiful sunny El Paso, Texas. It's time for the Buzz Adams Morning Show.
You rock me like a hurricane.
I know I do.
On 95.5 KLAQ.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you and welcome to the program for this Thursday morning. We've got Cool Canyon Nights tonight with the Electric Dave Orchestra. We're all really excited about that. Remember, we do free concerts every Thursday at McKelligon Canyon Amphitheater for the entire summer. And tonight, it's the Electric Dave Orchestra featuring Dave Hamilton from Funky Mungle and many other popular and famous El Paso bands. He's going to bring the full Electric Dave experience to the amphitheater stage. Cool Canyon Nights is free. It's free to park. There's food and drink for sale. And good time to be had by all. That is tonight at McKelligon Canyon Amphitheater.
And I'm hosting.
And Joanna is hosting. Oh, you lucky buck. Do you remember the commercials where the guy was like, you lucky buck? Thanks for joining us today, everybody. It is Thursday, and it is June the 13th. Good morning, Joanna Barba.
Good morning.
Joanna, would you share with us what we have coming up in the Hollywood Cheese May today?
Sure. Good news for Alamo Drafthouse.
Yeah.
Sony Pictures just acquired it.
Oh.
Were they, I know they were in the news last week some. Oh,
yes.
It was because they were closing some of them in Dallas.
Yes, so they had filed for bankruptcy, and then they started closing down like a bunch in Texas.
And now
it looks like Sony Pictures Entertainment has acquired the theater chain.
Is that good news or bad news for the quality of the chain?
Oh, maybe. That's a good point, Nico. I didn't think about that.
I hope they don't start sucking out like Whataburger did after they were taken over by an outside agitator.
So it's not just me. Whataburger has changed then, right?
It has, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Whataburger was known for being based in Houston or San Antonio.
Yeah.
It was Texas. Houston, I think.
Yes.
And then they got sold to a company, and they're being run out of Chicago now. And some people swear that Whataburger quality has gone down since they left Texas. I don't know. That's still the longest wait for a fast food drive-through line that I can think of. Let's get a look at El Paso weather. And this weather forecast brought to you by Wet n Wild Water World. Sunny today, 109 for the high temperature. I'd be interested to hear what the official high was yesterday. Because my car was saying it was 108. But, I don't know how accurate those are. But 109 for the high temperature, that will be the record for this year so far. Winds are not going to be an issue. It looks like the winds are going to be under 10 miles an hour for the most part. So maybe it's so hot, the wind is too tired to move.
Did you experience the heat yesterday?
Was I outside in the heat a lot? Not so much.
Oh, okay.
You?
Look at me. I'd burn.
Oh, it is National Albinism Day. So we want to make sure that somebody bring Nico a present because he's an albino. Now, were you outside? I don't notice anything different about you at all, to be honest.
2 seconds, and it got me this nice tan.
Wow.
2 seconds.
For the rest of the week, maybe not as warm as today, but still triple digits. We're looking at 104s and 105s and 106 here and there all through the weekend. No rain in the forecast, so you could take rain off the planner. And like I say, the winds are not, it's not going to be super windy like it was last weekend, but it will be pretty damn hot. El Paso weather is brought to you by Wet n Wild. Get your season pass for Wet n Wild, and that season pass is good for any day and every day, including special events like the Neon Paint Party. That's going to be on June 29th. And the 4th of July fireworks spectacular that they have. Save on tickets and buy in advance now at wetwild.com. That's wetwild.com. Briefly in sports, the Dallas Mavericks lost their first game at home. That means they are down 3-0 against the Boston Celtics. And I got to say, this looks like a sweep. If not a sweep, the Mavericks do not have a chance of crawling out of this hole because Kyrie was productive last night. Kyrie Irving had not been playing great. He came on strong. Luka Doncic, despite fouling out in the fourth quarter, had a great game. And the Celtics didn't look as good as they did the other two games. So with all of those factors going, the Mavericks couldn't get a win at home. I don't know. I think they have zero chance of coming back in this final series down 3-0.
Oh.
And picture the NBA logo, if you will. You know, it's like a silhouette of a guy dribbling a basketball. The guy that's based on passed away. Former Laker great and Laker president. Yeah, most of his life has been spent with the Laker organization. Jerry West passed away. And they based the NBA logo on Jerry West. He was 86 years old, and he's already in the Hall of Fame twice. He's going to go in as a 3-time Hall of Famer. He went in as a player. He also got in as a member of the gold medal winning 1960 Olympic team. And in August, he's going to go in because of his executive functions as a contributor to the sport. So that'll be a 3-time Hall of Famer, Jerry West. Jerry West played 14 seasons in the NBA and was an all-star all 14 seasons. He also won a championship with the Lakers in 72, retired in 74, and then he was general manager of 8 Lakers championship teams.
Well, okay, is he shown in Winning Time?
Yes. Yeah, and he was the one last Friday when we talked to Michael Cooper from the Lakers. We asked him if he watched that show because, they had an actor playing Michael Cooper. And he said he watched one episode, but he didn't like the way they portrayed Jerry West. You remember that?
Yeah, because they made Jerry West look crazy, right?
They made him look like a maniac, like just this crazy, wild, mad dog of a maniac. And Cooper said he was nothing like that. So, in addition to his legendary career, he's also the guy on the NBA logo. The NBA basketball world is mourning the death of Jerry West, and Mavericks fans are mourning the loss of the championship down 3-0 against the Celtics. Nico, can you preview news for us? Can you tell us what's coming up in the news today?
There's a lot in the news, but I think what we're going to hear about more and more throughout the day. Leah Thomas has spoken out after their 2024 Olympic dreams were crushed. Transgender swimmer Leah Thomas will not be able to compete in the Olympics. The 25-year-old asked the Court of Arbitration for Sport to overturn a ban on trans women competing to qualify for the Games, and they declined to overturn the ban. World Aquatics, it's the ruling party or governing body on swimming in the world.
Yeah, aquatics sounds better than water sports these days.
They had rules from 2022 that trans women cannot compete if they have gone through any part of the process of male puberty.
Okay, I want to get your thoughts on this. So Leah Thomas, excuse me. Leah Thompson was Marty McFly's girlfriend in Back to the Future.
It's a different person.
Was a male athlete and transitioned and then started winning a bunch of swim meets.
Yes,
Right?
actually won an NCAA championship, Division I.
Yeah, I want to get your thoughts on that.
I don't want to come across as hateful or anything like that. I have tons of friends who are transgender, but I think in the world of sports, which is based all around competition, I believe in the fairness of the most equal basis for competition. And I think it is completely unfair to have somebody like Leah Thomas competing when they're 6'1" and
they have
all the musculature that they used to have.
And we're talking about swimming, right?
Yes.
Things like foot and hand size, because those are kind of like your paddles. Those make a big difference. And I would say, maybe there are some sports where men and women and transgender people can compete on some kind of equal basis. I don't know what that would be. Maybe tennis or golf.
Worlds.
There's a reason in all those sports they have separate for men and women because it's not fair,
right,
to the female athletes. And what's going to happen if all of a sudden every transgender athlete is eligible for everything? I just don't think it's fair to women. It may not be fair to transgender people, but there are a lot more women than there are transgender women. Also, you never hear anybody talking about somebody who was born a female and transitioned into a male and wants to play offensive lineman for the New York Giants.
Yeah, that hasn't happened really yet.
That never has happened. Right, it never has gone the other way.
But, if they want to compete at this high level, actually, their World Aquatics has opened up in their 50-meter and 100-meter across all the different strokes that you can swim. Mm-hmm. Shut up.
Now, can a transgender athlete...
Hold on, you didn't let me finish.
Yeah, but I have a good joke. I have a great joke.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Can a transgender swimmer do the breaststroke?
Okay. Joanna, you got anything from?
No.
Okay.
Well, Joanna, I can tell. I want to hear your opinion on this. You're a woman. You're the one who should be talking here.
That's a good point. I have no opinion.
You have no opinion. Okay.
Do you not want to upset any of your friends?
No, that's not.
Do you have an opinion and you just don't want to share it, or
no? I really don't.
You really do not have an opinion.
Yeah. First off, don't really care about the swimming in the Olympics.
Yeah. Right.
I'm sorry for all the drama happening.
So you are just neutral on this subject.
Yeah.
All right. That's acceptable. That's fine. That's a very fine position to take.
Sure. Yeah.
What is a sport, like at the highest level, that men and women could conceivably compete against each other and it'd be fair? I mean, I would think tennis, but I guess, what they're saying is even Venus Williams at her pinnacle could beat most men, but could not beat the top tennis players in the world. Golf, as much as I play golf, you think I'd be able to go out and beat a lady golfer. They would clean my clock. I mean, it would not even be close. But again, there's a reason that women don't play on the PGA Tour, although Annika Sorenstam did play in a tournament and did better than some of the men. She wasn't in dead last place or anything. So, can you think of anything?
Pickleball?
Pickleball. Right. That should be should be co-ed or whatever.
Yeah, you can do mixed.
To me, badminton, and it is pronounced badminton, and that's an Olympic sport.
You are insufferable.
Here's a sport that I think women might have an advantage in. Anything with horses, because maybe you weigh a little less and the horse isn't carrying around as much weight.
I think women probably do better than men in gymnastics.
Well, I don't know if you could compare the two things together. Like, you never see men.
Girls can flip more, I think.
Girls are more flippy?
More flippy. I don't know.
Or more flippant?
Both.
All right. Well, we've got a lot coming up on the show today. We're going to get into Today in Sound Clips here in just a few moments.
The Daily Calendar. June 13th celebrates the life of St. Anthony, the patron saint of lost and stolen things. That's a weird saint. It's also International Axe Throwing Day. Lumberjacks in the 19th century invented the sport, and now it's an Instagram phenomenon. It's also the start of the Art Basel Festival in Miami, proving Florida has culture for 3 days. Happy June 13th. That's your Daily Calendar.
Find out what's going on. Quirky facts about our region. Urgent things you need to know impacting your drive. And of course, nothing but El Paso's best rock. All with Double G.
Free today. See Speaking Rock's Facebook for more info.
El Paso's own live and local, The Buzz Adams Morning Show, 95.5 KLAQ.
Let me tell you where you can start celebrating Father's Day early. Tomorrow at Sunland Park Racetrack and Casino. They're celebrating Father's Day all weekend. And tomorrow from 4 to 6, Joanna's going to be at the racetrack and the casino.
Yeah.
4 to 6, and she's going to have some great giveaways. And every 15 minutes, they're going to give away the following prize package. A $50 Home Depot card and a $50 gift card to Coralito Steakhouse. So if you win that, you keep them for yourself. You can give them both to Dad. You can give one to Dad, keep one for yourself. That is at Sunland Park Racetrack and Casino tomorrow from 4 to 6. Every 15 minutes, they're going to give away that prize package. And we're also going to have the same prize package to give away today on the air and tomorrow on the air. So they've given us some of the extra Home Depot and Coralito Steakhouse gift cards, and we'll have a contest coming up today. For that, just be listening to win. Join Joanna 4 to 6 tomorrow at Sunland Park Racetrack and Casino, where there's always more fun in the sun on Futurity Drive and Sunland Park, west of I-10.
And now, today in Sound Clips.
All of the day's news with accompanying sound bites and news actualities. And we're going to start with probably like the least exciting. It has to do with the interest rate adjustment, which they didn't do, but the news will get more salacious as we go on. At yesterday's press conference discussing the actions of the Federal Reserve this month, Fed Chair Jerome Powell said a lot of progress has been made to improve the economy. They're not changing the interest rates.
They are not.
So that's the big story. Powell said a lot of progress has been made in the economy, and they're not done yet.
The labor market has come into better balance with continued strong job gains and a low unemployment rate. Inflation has eased substantially from a peak of 7% to 2.7%, but is still too high.
Jay Powell, here's the big announcement from Powell yesterday that interest rates will remain unchanged again this month.
Today, the FOMC decided to leave our policy interest rate unchanged and to continue to reduce our securities holdings.
So, Buzz, tell us what this all means.
Well, if you're paying interest on a loan, a car loan, or anything that you have a loan out on, that means it won't go lower. Or anything you're going to buy, I guess you're locked into whatever rate you.
Oh, so
negotiate.
this affects your interest rates on your cars and loans.
See, I don't know. Does it? Or does it only apply of something you're going to buy?
It doesn't touch
anything, right?
Any of the loans that you have whatsoever. It doesn't determine anything.
Future loans.
Nope, doesn't do that whatsoever. Well, in a way it does. It affects the prime loan rate for banks, how banks loan and get money from each other.
Oh, see, I have no idea.
Well, that could affect your loans and trickle down to it, and that's kind of why they do this thing. Is they were going to lower rates or raise rates. Okay, raising the rates would make things a little bit more expensive, but it would also prevent inflation because it's going to stop people from buying stuff.
All right.
Don't you hate doing these stories?
Yes, I do. And I do everything I can to sound, number one, like I'm interested in the story, and number two, that I understand it. Neither of those things are true. But I do my best. Over in the House of Representatives, after 6 hours of discussion, the House voted yesterday to pass a resolution to hold Attorney General Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress. Do you know what this is all about?
Yeah.
What is it about? What is he not doing that they want him to do?
So President Joe Biden has also been investigated for having classified materials at his Delaware home, I believe.
There was an independent investigator.
Yes, by Ben Hur.
No, Robert Hur.
Sorry.
Nice try. The resolution was based on the fact that Garland has refused to turn over the audio recordings made by special counsel Robert Hur when he interviewed President Joe Biden. Son
of Ben Hur.
No, actually, Ben Hur means son of Hur. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah. Again, let's try and stay on the topic here.
Got you.
Garland said he wasn't going to give them what they wanted, the tapes of Biden's interview. House Speaker Mike Johnson says Congress needs the recordings to verify the accuracy of the written transcripts. Quote, given this White House has been known to heavily edit the president's statements. Only one Republican, David Joyce of Ohio, voted against the resolution, while all Democrats voted against it with a final tally of 216 to 207. Speaking from the House floor in the vote to hold Attorney General Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress, here is Jim Jordan. Representative Jim Jordan says the House was entitled to see that evidence.
We think we're entitled, actually, we know we're entitled to all the evidence and the best evidence. And the transcripts alone are not sufficient evidence of the state of the president's memory, especially since the executive branch has a history of changing transcripts.
All right, so they're saying we don't believe the transcript. They have the transcripts of Biden's interviews. They want to hear the audio. And look, the reason for this is maybe you find some moment where Biden took a while to gather his thoughts or was not completely coherent on something, and they would really love to play that against him, this being an election year.
Yeah.
That's what this is all about. The Republicans will tell you differently, but they're hoping, well, we hope there's something in there that makes Biden look demented or
You mean more
foolish.
so?
Yeah, more so. Here's the vote on the floor.
On this vote, the yeas are 216, the nays are 207. The resolution is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
All right. NBA legend Jerry West died yesterday. He was 86 years old. He was the NBA logo, even though you couldn't see his face, and became known as Mr. Clutch for his nerves of steel and coming through in crucial moments. West played 14 seasons in the NBA. He was an all-star in each of his seasons, also won a championship with the Lakers in 72. Here is former Laker, Shaquille O'Neal. Then we're going to hear about Jerry West. And here's some audio from Shaq and Jerry West himself.
Jerry West is the man. He's the logo. He's God in my eyes. So whatever he says, it has to be right.
I think the thing that I learned was just when the season was over, how can we get better?
3 seconds to go. 2 seconds. 1 second. West throws it up. He makes it. West threw it up and makes it. Over half court. Jerry West made it from the other side of the midcourt stripe.
I want to say that Jerry West was absolutely fantastic. That was one of the greatest exhibitions I ever saw in my life.
Jerry West was 86 years ago, known as the logo. Here's Jerry talking about how that logo came to be. And they asked him a couple of years ago, who would he pick if they were going to do a new logo?
I'll tell you one thing. The greatest thing about being a logo, you get paid a lot of money for it. Probably made about 2 cents off of that.
Hypothetically, Adam Silver gave you the opportunity to pick who should be the next logo.
I would never do that. It's disrespectful to other players. Here's what my response is. That's me. I'm flattered. Do you have any idea what the logo was about? It was about marketing. The league started to grow. And that's when they decided to start trying to market the league. There were 5 guys. No one knew who they were. They were all silhouettes. The guy who said it would fit better on the apparel and stuff, that's who did it. To me, you wish no one knew who it was. I've often thought, what would I like for people to think about me? He was a good guy and he cared. That would be it.
All right. And here's...
Well, he sounds super nice.
Right. Not at all like the raving maniac on Winning Time, the docuseries, or not docuseries, but docudrama about the Lakers. Here's a clip of West talking a few years ago about his reputation as being the ultimate competitor. And that is a reputation he had, was that he was just the most competitive guy.
You know, competitive people, the word dog comes up a lot. That guy's a dog. That guy, well, I was a wolf, okay? I used to eat dogs.
Last night in Game 3 of the NBA Finals, the Mavericks fell again, this time on their home court. Luka Doncic.
Wait. Did Jerry West just say he ate dogs?
He ate dogs, yeah.
Okay.
Luka Doncic fouled out of Game 3, and then the Mavericks went on to lose again. Here is the moment Luka fouled out.
Brown runs into Doncic, blocking foul, and that's it. He's fouled out.
And here's the final call as the Celtics win Game 3.
Washington hitting the second, 10.8 remaining, but still a 7-point game, and that's going to do it. The Boston Celtics are one win away from an NBA title. They hold off a furious comeback attempt and now have a 3-0 lead here in these NBA Finals.
Yeah, 3-0. I am afraid I now have to say I don't see any way that Mavericks crawl out of this hole, because Luka, even though he fouled out, was having a good game, and Kyrie Irving finally came alive, and he was having a good game, and the Celtics did not look as sharp as they did in Game 1 and 2, and still won by 7 points, 106-99, the final in Game 3. The series now is 3-0. Next game, and this could be a sweep, next game is in Dallas. A city has not turned on its public drinking fountains because they only have one worker who's trained to do it. And it's not like a little town. It's Pittsburgh. You know, Pittsburgh that has a Major League Baseball team and an NFL franchise. Let's hear a little bit about this. Yeah, it says they only have one plumber who's trained to turn on the public drinking fountains, and he's the guy who also has to fill all the pools. The city has been trying to hire 2 more plumbers to help out. Here's Public Works Director in Pittsburgh, Chris Hornstein, talking about the problem.
I have one plumber working for the city. We have over 200 drinking fountains. What's wrong with it is it's one person. It's just a struggle. If you're a licensed plumber in the county, it is a very, very competitive job market.
Let me see. A passenger got banned from a flight because he was trying to pull off a viral packing trick. Have you seen this one, Joanna?
I saw the headline, but I didn't see what he did.
Basically, he had a pillowcase, and he just stuffed all of his stuff in it because there's a baggage fee. And he saw this on TikTok that said, they'll just think it's a pillow. Well, they could clearly tell it wasn't a pillow, and the guy missed his flight. They told him, don't listen to TikTok anymore. And guess what? So this guy, he learned it from TikTok. There just so happened to be a TikTok influencer on his flight who was recording the whole thing, so we can hear a little bit of it.
This dude was trying to take in a pillowcase full of clothing and other items, which he is stating was simply just a pillowcase. And the dude was like, bro, everybody can see it's not a freaking pillow. Like, come on.
You know, I've wondered about a lot of these hacks. In fact, Joanna, we looked up a specific hack yesterday. How to remove those tags on the clothes at Ross and Burlington if they don't take your tag off. Is there any way to do it? So we looked up a hack that honestly looks so hard to do, it would make more sense to drive back and have them do it at the store where you
We were
bought
like,
it.
this is stupid.
Yeah, that's interesting. what technology would you need?
Oh, turns out just a simple plastic bag.
Like a plastic grocery bag.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But it looks like it takes forever.
Yeah. I'm skeptical about
I
some of
ran
these
out of
hacks.
patience with that guy's video.
You're right. Yeah, it got to the point. It's like, dude, I'll just take it back and have them pop.
And then another dude was like, get yourself a serrated knife and just start sawing it.
Right. Just start cutting. You've had that happen, right? Where you buy an item of clothing and for whatever reason they miss one of those tags.
Yeah, and then I go back and they're like, did you pay for this? And I'm like, here's my receipt. It's your fault because your stupid alarm didn't go off.
Well, oh, right. Why didn't it go off when you walked out?
And they're like, oh, we probably turned it off. Interesting.
Passengers on a city bus in Atlanta were texting loved ones after a gunman hijacked the commuter bus with 13 people inside and shot one of them with the passenger's own gun. The man who hijacked the bus had been interviewed by reporters moments before about a shooting at an Atlanta food court. All right, so get this. There's a shooting at a food court, and they go to interview eyewitnesses. They interview this guy who a very short time later hijacked the bus and shot and killed one of the passengers.
Did it inspire him?
We don't know, but other than the one passenger, all the other passengers were safe. Here is the reporter who did that interview talking about interviewing Joseph Greer before he hijacked a bus in Atlanta.
We met a man who said his name was Joseph Greer. Mr. Greer said he had come downtown to use the bank that is here on this corner and began to tell us his account of the shooting. He was very rambling and very hard to follow. And he said at one point that he had bipolar disorder and had been off his medication. What we did not know at that point was that Mr. Greer was going to walk several blocks away and board a Gwinnett County Transit bus and hijack it.
Speaking of man-on-the-street interviews, it's happened again. While in Europe, Henry Winkler has been interviewed by a reporter who didn't realize that he's the Fonz, because I guess Happy Days was not as big in the UK as it was in the U.S. This happened a couple of years ago in England, where a reporter did a man-on-the-street segment with the Fonz, Henry Winkler. Henry Winkler was in Ireland to promote his memoir, Being Henry, The Fonz and Beyond. It happened again. A news crew interviewed a random person on the street after people in a hotel were evacuated from a fire. And again, it turned out to be Henry Winkler, the Fonz.
When I heard the fire alarm, I thought it was the clock radio. I thought somebody had set the alarm before we got there, like another guest. And finally, I went into another room and it was still buzzing. So I called downstairs, and the woman said in a very calm voice, "Yes, we're all evacuating. You must evacuate right now." And I left. Firemen are some of my favorite human beings. Firemen and firewomen. They run in when other people are running out.
Do you think Fonz in a fire pulls the fire alarm, or does he just hit the wall and it comes on by itself?
And he just goes, hey.
Isn't that delightful?
Yes, that is delightful. And the fact that he likes fire people.
Henry's great. Hundreds of people in Oregon have signed a petition to blow up a beached whale there, despite the fact that 50 years ago, they had a beached whale in Oregon, and they blew it up, and it turned into a disaster. People are signing a petition because they want a dead beached whale in Oregon to be blown up. The last time a beached whale was blown up in Oregon, it became such an epic failure, it became a meme that perhaps you've seen. Here's the news story from the time a whale was blown up on a beach in Oregon 50 years ago.
Well, I'm confident that it'll work. The only thing is we're not sure just exactly how much explosives it'll take to disintegrate this thing so the scavengers, seagulls, and crabs and whatnot can clean it up.
Our camera stopped rolling immediately after the blast. The humor of the entire situation suddenly gave way to a run for survival as huge chunks of whale blubber fell everywhere.
Hold up. I got to back
Turned quickly into a tale of survival.
Oh, the humanity!
Our camera stopped rolling immediately after the blast. The humor of the entire situation suddenly gave way to a run for survival as huge chunks of whale blubber fell everywhere. A parked car over a quarter of a mile from the blast site was the target of one large chunk. The passenger compartment literally smashed. Everyone on the scene was covered with small particles of dead whale.
Of dead whale.
Oh, my God, is that amazing or what?
Our camera stopped rolling immediately after the blast. The humor of the entire situation suddenly gave way to a run for survival as huge chunks of whale blubber fell everywhere.
That's my
The sound of laughter died out as soon as chunks of dead whale were everywhere.
So, everybody was there because, hey, this is funny. They're going to blow up a whale. I want to be there. And the next thing you know, everybody was covered in blubber, and probably blubbering too. That is today in Sound Clips. Let's take a break. A lot coming up on the show today. We got Father's Day prizes to give away, a true crime report later, and I've got 3 random facts on the way this morning, too. So all that's coming up on the Buzz Adams Morning Show today.
Artist interviews, new music discoveries, celebrating artists' birthdays, commemorating releases, champion of all things rock.
You buy Sarah Farms milk. Sarah Farms, where their milk is legendary.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Enderman personal injury lawyers at GVILaw.com.
You see, Joanna will start howling if we play this bumper. This is called bumper music, by the way. Got some neckline calls on the way. There you go. We're going to get some neckline calls later. We also have the Mo Show calendar and daily almanac of events on the way. For this Sunday's Q Connected, let me give you a preview. Q Connected is our 2-hour show on Sundays that introduces you to all the best new rock and also puts a special focus on local and area bands. So we're going to hear some of El Paso and the El Paso area's favorite local bands this week for Father's Day. It's going to include One Star Day, Full Bloom, Two Edge, and the legendary P Razors are going to be part of the show. It's Q Connected every week. Daniel Paulus takes a couple of hours and showcases new rock and local rock that you should be excited about. That's Sundays 5 to 7 on 95.5 KLAQ. Thank you, everybody, was sending in. A lot of people have sent in some very nice condolences. One of my German Shepherds passed away yesterday, and I appreciate everybody with their kind words. People are very sympathetic when it comes to your pets. I've noticed, maybe even more so than your kids or your family.
You know, I think you received more condolences about this than when your dad passed away.
Yeah. Let's see what else. TV tonight. Let's take a look at what's on. First of all, the new season of The Boys is out on Amazon Prime. And you said that that's already, I don't have to wait till 6 or 7 o'clock?
No, that the first 3 episodes are already
Okay, yeah, that's what I was wondering.
According to my nephew, who I saw this morning at 5 in the morning, and he goes, we watched all the episodes already.
Now, when you say you see your nephews at 5 in the morning, does that mean they get up early even though it's summer break, or they haven't gone to bed yet?
No, they haven't gone to bed. They're probably asleep now.
Yeah, right. Sleep all day.
But
Actually, not a bad plan if you could do that. Like if you're a kid, sleep all day and then wait until the temperature gets under 100 before you go outside.
All we ask of them is for them to do their chores, and there they are, like at 5 in the morning doing them, so they can go to sleep.
So they can go to bed.
That's hilarious.
But did you say 3 episodes?
Yes, the first 3 episodes are out now, and then after that, every Thursday, a new episode.
Can we talk about the Acolyte in the newest episode?
You may, but let me go down the rest of tonight's listings, okay? Third season finale of Bridgerton.
I forgot about that.
TV tonight. That is on Netflix. It is the 3rd season finale of Bridgerton.
Ugh, stupid Bridgerton. It's so good.
You got into it?
Yes.
Over on ABC, Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals. I don't remember what teams are in it other than one of them's American and one of them's Canadian.
It's the Edmonton Oilers, and it is
that's the one. I actually did remember Edmonton Oilers. Whoever the other team is, they're from the United States, and they're up 2-0 in this series.
And the Kansas.
Nope.
Okay. I don't know.
I can tell you it's not Kansas. And
we have the computer in front of it. It's the Florida Panthers.
It's the Florida Panthers.
It is. But you think I'm joking about this?
I honestly did not know that there was a Florida Panthers.
There is.
There's a Carolina Panthers in the NFL. Are you
is
sure about this?
Why don't you look it up?
Do you know that a Canadian-based NHL team has not won a Stanley Cup in 3 decades? That's
Yeah,
real.
because all the Canadians come to the United States to play.
Well, everybody, you're drafted just like any other. It's not like the Americans don't have any Canadians on their team. They have lots of Canadians on
It's
their
funny,
team.
though, that the Canadian Hockey League, whatever that is, isn't as famous and can't, like, draw.
Oh, I would say the NHL is the Canadian Hockey League. I mean, it
right?
pretty much is dominated by Canadians with some Russians and Eastern Europeans and a few Scandinavians in there and Americans as well. A stand-up special tonight on Max, stand-up comic Hannah Einbinder, and Everything Must Go. And we know who she is.
God.
Who is she?
Nepo baby.
Well, maybe a little. Her mom is original Saturday Night Live cast member
Elaine Boozler?
No, Lorraine Newman.
Wow, that's right.
She was she was the Conehead daughter.
Yes.
This is
from
her
the Coneheads.
daughter.
Joanna,
she's on a show on Max called Hacks. That's really good. It's about stand-up comedy.
Her and Gene Smart.
Yeah, Gene Smart's in it. And she's fantastic.
I can't tell if you like it or not.
We like it. I
do
like it a lot.
We do like it a lot.
It was a pandemic show for us.
Yeah,
I
it
think.
was. We watched it during the pandemic.
Stop saying it like that.
But I have she had done nothing before that television show.
Okay.
And she maybe had done like a couple of things through stand-up. Like she was a stand-up comic based out of New York. And then bam, lead series on HBO with Gene Smart. She's the head. I mean, she's the lead in it. And then I looked her up and it's like, oh, because your mom is a famous Saturday Night Live comedian.
Yeah, but
you got this job.
I don't know how many strings Lorraine Newman.
I think she
What's the last thing she's been in other than the Coneheads movie?
What other reasons would they have?
She's funny and talented, and
it was her first time acting. They even said she had never been in a television show, a play, or movie before.
Well, she doesn't go by her mother's last name. She goes by her father's last name. So, anyway, Hannah Einbinder.
She is good, though.
From Hacks. Thanks for. So, what do you want to talk about? The latest episode of The Acolyte, which is the latest Star Wars show on Disney Plus.
Trash.
Well, it was like the origin story.
Trash.
There was a lot of exposition going on.
Trash.
There. Yeah, it sucked. Not one lightsaber was
Not
drawn.
one
the entire
lightsaber.
time.
All you do is get some of these Dathomir witches.
Is that what they are? It's all
Yeah.
about the Jedi versus the witches.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sorry you didn't enjoy it. I'm sure they'll be back to the present.
The
day.
last thing we see.
It was a letdown of an episode.
The last thing we see in episode 2, the last one was episode 3, but in episode 2, the last thing we see is a giant Wookiee scaring away some scavengers using the Force.
He's not just a Wookiee, he's a Wookiee Jedi.
Yeah.
Now that was cool.
Want to see that guy.
Let's take a look at the Mo Show calendar and daily almanac of events and find out what's happening on June 13th. Today is June 13th. It is International Axe Throwing Day. Has become very popular. Most cities have some kind of axe throwing place in them.
Mm-hmm.
Today's also Roller Coaster Day. Joanne, I've never asked you.
What's up?
Do you like roller coasters?
I do, yeah.
I like roller coasters too.
It's those damn Ferris wheels
It's
I don't
the
like.
slow rides that I can't stand. That Ferris wheel, I just freak
Hate that
out on.
Ferris wheel.
And the worst, though, is that sky lift that's kind of like a ski lift, but it goes all the way over Western
Yeah,
Playland.
screw
I
that.
hate that.
Just dangling in the air.
I'd rather be going fast and you don't know what hit you.
Exactly.
I would imagine your stomach gets upset. You know, you seem like you have a...
On a roller coaster?
Yeah, both of you guys.
Nah, I'm fine.
No,
I love
I'm
me
not
some
a
roller
queasy
coasters. Bring them
person.
on. I've never backed down from
But
a roller coaster.
them damn Ferris wheels.
Yeah, hate
Nope.
those. Especially like if you've got a kid, but like when my daughter was little, and they're squirming around and,
And
they
they're
don't really
like,
fit in the
"Look,
thing.
let's rock it."
Yeah, they
No.
want to rock it.
Let's not.
Stop that right now.
Stop it, nephew.
Today is International Albinism Awareness Day. So we want to tell Nico that
Buzz,
we feel your pain.
congratulations.
We feel your pain of
See
your
that you
3-second sunburn that you got.
You have a lot of support today.
Mm-hmm. Can you name a famous person with albinism?
Jesse Plemons.
He looks like it, but he's not. Okay, I just want to tell you.
I believed you in a moment. Does he really?
No, I don't know.
I'll get back to this. Redheaded does not mean albino necessarily.
Oh.
Let's look at a few celebrities having birthdays. None of these folks are albinos, regardless of what you may think. Aaron Taylor Johnson from Kick-Ass. And he was also Quicksilver in Avengers Age of Ultron. He's 34 today.
He's younger than us? What?
Yeah, and his wife is like 50.
Yeah, he married director Sam
Johnson,
right. The Olsen twins turned 38. This is the 20th anniversary of Mary-Kate and Ashley turning 18, which some creeps actually had a countdown clock for.
Ugh.
Did you have one?
God,
We
I
did,
feel
but
like
ours
there
was more
was
making
one on this
fun. We did, but ours
remember
was
listening to
I
making
remember it too.
Okay, ours was making fun of the people who were actually counting down until the. Yes, it was. Kat Dennings from the Thor movies and Two Broke Girls is 38 today.
You're a big fan of.
Big fan of both of them. Of Kat Dennings and her husband. Chris Evans, who was Captain America in the MCU, is 43.
America's ass.
Comedian and former Jackass star Steve O turns 50 today.
I bet nobody thought he would ever make it to that.
Joanna, what was your story earlier this week or about Steve O turning 50?
That he is going to get his first face tattoo designed by Post Malone.
I thought I heard Post Malone was gonna be was gonna tattoo it himself.
Oh yes, also that he'll be the tattoo artist.
And what's the face tattoo going to be of?
A penis.
Mm-hmm. That's what we were
A
told.
penis.
Is that Post Malone will be applying a penis directly to Steve-O's face in tattoo form for his 50th birthday. Some other celebrities having birthdays. Rivers Cuomo from Weezer is 54 today. Ali Sheedy, who was a member of the Brat Pack in Breakfast Club, St. Elmo's Fire, and Short Circuit, and others. Ali Sheedy is 62 today.
Ugh, Hulu keeps pushing that documentary on me.
The
'Cause I think it's
Andrew
out.
McCarthy
Yeah.
one. You know what? Actually, I have a list of highlights, so maybe you don't have to watch it if I just give you some of the highlights from the Brat Pack documentary. Tim Allen from Home Improvement and the Santa Claus movies and the voice of Buzz Lightyear is 71 today. And Swedish actor Stellan Skarsgård is 73. The only thing more potent than his acting ability is his talent for having really talented offspring. He is the father of all of the famous Skarsgårds. Bill, who was in it. The one who was Tarzan. The other dude. The guy who was Floki on Vikings. That's one of his sons. Alexander, right. I feel like we named 3. I think we're leaving out a Skarsgård.
Yeah, right.
Oh, you know what it was? I thought Peter Sarsgaard was a Skarsgård.
Oh, yeah. Peter Sarsgaard is not related
I definitely thought that he was a Skarsgård, but he's not. He's just a plain old Sarsgaard. Richard Thomas, who played John Boy on The Waltons, and speaking of it, he played Bill Denbrough in the miniseries version of Stephen King's It.
Good night, Sue. Good night, Grandma. Good night, John Boy.
Good night, Pennywise. And actor Malcolm McDowell, who was he starred as Alex DeLarge in Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange and has been in many, many, many other shows. Malcolm McDowell turns 81 today. 104 years ago in 1920, this is an interesting date in history. The U.S. Post Office ruled that children may not be sent by parcel post, meaning you can't send kids by the mail. This was 1920, and the reason was people were doing that. They would pay the stamps or the postage for whatever their kid weighed and send their kid off in a mail truck to be delivered, and then a relative on the other end would pick the kid up or whatever.
Mail call.
And they said no mas back in 1920. Famous albinos on International Albinism Day, or Albinism Awareness Day. You know, I'm really coming up with Edgar and Johnny Winter, who were both rock stars. Edgar Winter Band and the Johnny Winter Band, both of those brothers had like white albino skin and pink eyes. And Nico.
You know, if there's anybody that I think, whoever was in that Jim Carrey movie, Me, Myself, and Irene. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was an albino in that one.
A real one? Sometimes they just
might have
play.
been an actor. I looked up famous albinos.
And it's not a very long list, is it?
No, I don't recognize any of them.
Just because you're pale doesn't mean you're albino. If you have red hair, that doesn't mean you're an albino.
Oh, some of these, I think they're models, is what they are.
Right. They can be very exotic looking.
Paul Bettany in the Da Vinci Code.
Okay. He played an albino. The evil monk albino. This must be the hell part of the year for people with albinism, especially if they live in a really sunny, hot place like El Paso. They would just fry like a crisp on the sidewalk.
Oh, you know what's interesting? Griffin, the main character of the H.G. Wells novel, The Invisible Man, questionable sanity and thief by nature, obsessed with color and pigmentation because of his albinism.
Oh, no, I didn't know that. Today's Mo Show calendar is brought to you by Wet n Wild Waterworld, a place that will let you in if you're an albino, but you're on your own as far as not burning up. They've got season passes good for any day during the season, including special events like the Neon Paint Party at Wet n Wild and the July 4th Fireworks Spectacular. Save on tickets, buy in advance now at wetwild.com. That's wetwild.com. And I am just thinking about all the poor people with albinism here on Albinism Awareness Day who can't just go to a water park to cool off. Or can they?
Summer is here, and everybody's looking for fun in the sun, except for redheads and albinos. But good news, there's a place people with red hair and fair skin can go to avoid getting sunburned. It's Shadeland, a 3,000-acre waterless park that's perfect for people who burn easily. Check out the sitting tent, perfect for sitting. Or enjoy a tasty meal in the eating tent. The only thing that's gonna be sizzling in there is meat. Wanna cool off? Check out the Coolin' Off tent. It's a tent that just has a bunch of fans in it. Now that's a cool time to be had by all. Just listen to this super stoked Shadeland visitor.
I still got sunburned walking from my car to the tent, so yeah, wasn't really the best time I've ever had. Summer's a terrible time for me. I play a lot of video games, because of the lack of sunshine.
So if you want to enjoy summer while staying out of the harsh, evil sun, then come on down to Shadeland. You'll be glad you did. Warning, no refunds, even though you'll definitely want one because this will probably be the least amount of fun you'll ever have.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, $5
a month. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Video may be limited to SD. Fees may apply. Terms and restrictions apply. Subject to change. See store for details.
Oh, guess who this is?
Buzz Adams and the KLAQ Morning Show.
You must be the greatest radio show host ever.
Buzz is back.
Joanna is going to have the Hollywood Cheesemay on the way, but I've got 3 random facts ahead first. And we're going to have a true crime report coming up later this morning. All that's on the way.
What a fun Thursday.
Oh, yeah. Thirsty Thursday. I don't know why they call it that. Tonight, you might be thirsty, so bring some water or purchase a beverage while you're at Cool Canyon Nights. You can, get something to eat and drink with all the money you save since it's a free concert.
Yeah.
There's no charge for parking. So come out every Thursday. We put on a free live concert at McKelligan Canyon Amphitheater. It's Cool Canyon Nights, brought to you by Westar.
And who's hosting tonight?
Joanna Barba!
Joanna Barba!
Hey.
On the main stage, it's the Electric Dave Orchestra featuring Dave Hamilton on electric cello and bass guitar. He's got Armando the Phenomenal DJ, Christian Hernandez on electric violin, Gil Mata on guitar, Jessica and Kasha on vocals. The EDO will take you on a musical journey from rock to country to metal to disco. Some blues thrown in, covering bands like Disturbed, Stevie Ray Vaughan, AC/DC, ZZ Top, Nirvana, and Metallica, just to name a few. The Electric Dave Orchestra is tonight. Doors open at 6 o'clock. Music starts at 7 at Cool Canyon Nights, brought to you by Westar. So free to attend, free to park. Get yourself something delicious to drink and eat while you're there at McKelligan Canyon Amphitheater. You have some of the audio from when our computer was not working You remember earlier this week?
Oh, yeah.
Pat Sajak had his final night as the host of Wheel of Fortune. And that is, I can remember watching Pat Sajak and Vanna on Wheel of Fortune. My parents never missed it. I think because my dad had a kind of like a low-key crush on on Vanna. Excuse me.
Your dad?
No, I think he thought Vanna was very, very.
Well, that's a good-looking woman.
That's a good-looking woman. She could flip my valves anytime she wants to. Vanna had some very nice things to say about Pat. And on his last episode, Sajak had some really nice things to say about Vanna.
To my professional other half, dear Vanna, Vanna is as sweet and unassuming as she seems. We've seen a lot of changes in each other's lives over the years, but we've always been there for each other. I want to thank her for her lovely goodbye on yesterday's show. And while I very much miss working with her, I take solace in the fact that we live about 5 miles apart, so we'll see plenty of each other. She's a very special woman. And I know you're all pleased to know that she'll be back next season.
All right. I give her one season, and then they'll want to bring in somebody, younger. Because you know who the new host is going to be, right?
Vanna.
No.
Ryan
It's not Vanna.
It's Ryan Seacrest?
Ryan Seacrest.
Wow. He hasn't stolen enough jobs. Doesn't he have enough jobs right now?
Right?
He should have enough jobs. Also, he is responsible for all of us knowing who the Kardashians are.
He really is, yeah.
When's that cancel culture going to come for him for that? And here are Pat Sajak's final words on his final episode of Wheel of Fortune.
By the way, you'll still see plenty of me for the next few months. That's right, summer reruns, so the jokes will be the same, but I'd appreciate it if you'd laugh again anyway. That's it. Thank you all so very much, and goodbye.
Aww.
On last week tonight with John Oliver, they put together a montage of some of the famous and funniest wrong answers in the history of Pat's time on Wheel of Fortune.
I'll solve.
Okay.
Another feather in your lap.
No.
Bridal and gold shower.
Sorry.
I'll solve the puzzle.
Go ahead.
I have The Wine by Johnny Cash.
That is not correct. I'm sorry.
I'd like to solve the puzzle.
Okay.
Boozing my shore excursion.
No.
Tavares, right in the butt?
No. A group of pill pushers?
This is Wheel of Fortune, Joe!
The end of an era.
Pat Sajak may no longer host Wheel of Fortune.
Well, the time has come to say goodbye.
But his legacy lives on.
This is Wheel of Fortune!
Franklin Mint presents the limited edition Pat Sajak plate collection.
We'll figure out a way to handle that tastefully. I have no idea what that'll be.
5 plates, each dedicated to Pat's favorite vowels.
Well, let's have a letter.
The bold letter A.
Yeah!
The gallant letter E.
Yeah, that's it.
The resolute letter I.
There's really no need for me at all.
The proud letter O.
Yes.
And the triumphant letter U.
There you go.
Each plate sells for $179.99.
We get to keep the money.
Order all 5 now, and the Franklin Mint will send you a free 6th plate for the mysterious letter Y. Because sometimes it's a vowel.
You got it.
The Franklin Mint. We never miss a chance to sell garbage to old people.
And now it's time for
Random Facts.
Ooh. You know what Random Facts does? It satisfies our educational obligation to our audience.
Yeah.
Everybody learns something, including us sometimes. So I have some really, really interesting facts. All of them are random. There's no common theme tying them together, but I have fact-checked all of them and properly sourced them and take a lot of pride in the fact that all of our facts are, for the most part, we've never made a mistake. I just jinxed us, but random fact number 1. The state of Tennessee has a law that specifically grants you permission to take any animal you accidentally run over. Any animal you run over, you have the specific right in Tennessee to use it for, quote, personal use and consumption.
What?
In other words, you are legally given the right to make dinner out of your roadkill in Tennessee.
Yeah, I killed it. I'm going to grill it.
It's mine now.
I wonder if that applies to, like, if you ran over somebody's pet. Like, if you accidentally hit a dog and you thought, well, I'm sorry about your dog, lady, but he's mine
It's
now.
mine now.
Law says I can cook him up and eat him. Dogs are fine meat.
Or people.
What if you ran over a person?
Hey, sorry, your
Sorry about that. You
grandma's mine now.
Random fact number 2. The oldest living civilization on Earth is the Aboriginal Australians.
And whatever family you come from.
So, you know, the Aboriginals were there when the white man discovered Australia, right? And they've been living there for a long time. DNA testing confirms that group of people are at least 72,000 years old. So the oldest living civilization on Earth. Coming in second, U.S. presidential candidates. And I have one more random fact for you. Random fact number 3. There is one U.S. town where the traffic lights are upside down.
What does that mean?
So I had to ask Joanna if she could picture a vertical stoplight. What's on top?
Because Buzz can't picture that.
I was like, God, I've seen millions of these things, and I could not tell you. But I guessed, and I was right. So which one's on top on a stoplight?
Red.
You say red?
Yeah.
That's true. In most towns. There's one exception, though. It is a town called Tipperary Hill, and it's part of the greater Syracuse, New York area. And they have stoplights where the green is on top, orange in the middle, and red on the bottom. But there's a very specific reason for it. And
wait, which one is orange?
Yellow.
Do you see yellow as orange?
Orange.
Are you
it's like, yeah, I am. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like an orangish yellow, I would say.
Okay.
Yellow. All right. So in Tipperary Hill in 1925, they got their first stoplight. And they were already doing the red on top, yellow in the middle, green on the bottom, even back then. However, having the red light on top did not please the Irish residents. This was mostly an Irish, first generation, second generation Irish people lived in Tipperary Hill. And they could not stand the idea that the British red was above the Irish green.
They were like, how dare you?
The light was erected on the corner of Tompkins and Milton Avenue. Some Irish youths who came to be known as the Stone Throwers got things going when they would break every single stoplight that had red on top. And I'm going to turn it over. I am going to turn it over for a little further explanation on this. And this is from the Irish American Historical Society. All right. Here you go. They tell the story about the Stone Throwers and the upside-down traffic lights in Syracuse.
It all started with the Stone Throwers. These were the sons and grandsons of Irish immigrants on Tip Hill. When the city first installed a traffic light at Tompkins and Milton, they couldn't stand seeing the British red placed over the Irish green. So about a dozen local boys started hurling rocks to break the red light. The city would come and fix the light, but by the next day it would be smashed again. The kids broke every new light again and again until the city gave up. They put a green light over the red, creating the only green over red stoplight in the world.
And from what I'm reading here, I've never been to Syracuse, New York, but they still have the stoplights in that configuration to this day.
Green over red.
Green over red. And those are your random facts for today.
These are just some facts that I learned and was amazing. Everyone should try to learn something new each day.
I'm Daniel Paulus, and whether you're wrapping up your workday,
all loans are subject and approval. Other conditions apply. Promotion and membership eligibility details at gecu.com.
Originating in El Paso, for El Paso, the Buzz Adams Morning Show, 95.5 KLAQ.
Father's Day is on Sunday. Don't forget Father's Day. I love the difference in the ads.
Like what?
Jewelry for Mother's Day as low as $3,000.
Lawnmowers.
Cargo shorts for Dad, $11.59 at Kohl's. We're going to have some giveaways coming up later. They're going to be the same giveaways that Joanna's going to have tomorrow at Sunland Park Racetrack Casino, and she's going to be there from 4 to 6. Every 15 minutes, she's going to be giving away a prize package for Father's Day. That's a $50 Home Depot card and a $50 Coralito Steakhouse gift card set. Joanna will be at Sunland Park Racetrack and Casino tomorrow from 4 to 6, where they are celebrating Father's Day all weekend long. You want me to grab a couple of phone calls before Joanna has our Hollywood Cheese Mate?
Please.
All right, we're full of commercials today, okay?
Okay.
Help me keep that in mind.
Good morning. God bless you all. Yes. This is born again Christian man guy. Whatever happened to Andrew Dice Clay? He was funny, but he was scandalous as heck. I wonder whatever happened to him. Okay. Have a great day. See you later. Bye-bye.
Well, I can tell you, I went to lunch about 7 years ago with Andrew Dice Clay because he was in town to perform at the comic strip. So he's still doing stand-up comedy. He doesn't do the Dice Man character.
Right.
You know, that was a kind of a character, and Dice will be the first one. Hey. I mean, he still goes by Andrew Dice Clay.
The Dice Man.
Yeah. But he pops up in movies. One of the most notable recently, he played Lady Gaga's dad in A Star Is Born. You know, so that was a pretty prestigious movie. Did you ever see it?
I didn't.
Well, her dad was played by Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh, cool. That's about music.
Yeah. He was in a Woody Allen movie that also had Cate Blanchett in it a few years ago, Blue Jasmine. So he's still getting really decent acting role, not the biggest role.
I see him.
A lot of people thought he should have gotten an Academy Award nomination for Blue Jasmine, though, for supporting actor.
Nice.
What else?
I see him on comedy podcasts a lot. Like, he's still a guest on a lot of like current comedian podcasts.
Yeah, he's probably real popular. Do you remember part of the thing with Sinead O'Connor was she refused to be on the show as a musical guest the same time that Andrew Dice Clay was going to be, so they rescheduled her. When they rescheduled her, that was the famous episode where she tore up a picture of the Pope on live television. Do you remember any of that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I remember in like clips, like recaps of the decades.
And also there was one of the cast members in the early 2000s who refused to be on the show when Andrew Dice Clay was the host. Right. Here's another call. These are from the Neckline. So we got a couple of numbers you can call us on. The Neckline, you can leave a message anytime, night or day. That number is 844-805-NECK, 844-805-6325. But if you want to call us directly, we love those kind of calls so we can interact live. Call us on our live line. And that number is 915-910-4995. That's 910-4995. Live calls go first. That's just our policy around here.
Hey, Buzz. I know a lot of your callers, you can recognize their voice, but my voice, depending on what I did the night before, it may be a little raspy, a little high-pitched. I don't know. My voice is always changing, man. But
what did you do the night before to affect your vocal cords?
I think this is...
That's 5 points.
5 points. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. This is 5 points, guy.
Anyways, it's 5 points, guy. Yeah. Hey, dude, I'm listening to Steve's show, and I've been listening to it for a while now. It's a great show, actually. They cover a lot of topics, not just sports, actually, but a lot of what's going on around here in the city. But out of curiosity, have you ever been on Steve's show, or do you ever plan on going on Steve's show? Since he always goes on your show as a guest, why don't you go on his show and be a guest? That'd be crazy to hear you at 4 o'clock in the afternoon live, man. That'd be crazy.
You answered your question.
But anyway, you guys have a good one. Oh, by the way, that You're Late for Work song, I sent that to you back in February, bro, and I even tagged Joanna and Nico in it. I guess you didn't get my email, but it's all good, buddy. Have a good one, guys.
All right, thank you, 5 points. Now, if you sent that Nico theme song...
You're late to work, who gets a you, boss, I'm late.
If you
I wasn't late today.
No, a lot of people noticed in the app chat. They were like, "Good job, Nico. You made it on time."
People do notice whenever we start talking if your voice is there.
It sucks having a job where other people really know when you're not there.
It's so weird.
I miss the days where my job, only one person would know I wasn't there, and that was the boss.
I have definitely appeared on Steve's show in the past.
You have?
If I happen to be in, I usually don't make a special trip down just, to be there for, but on like road shows where we've both been in Vegas for a fight or something, I've done, an appearance on Steve's show.
To answer the question in a way I think that most people would probably relate to, Steve has two jobs. Like if Steve just did his show, you probably wouldn't run into him. He would probably be coming in at like, what, 2?
Later. Steve also is working hard in the sales department.
That's what I mean.
He does a lot of the sales.
He's here in the morning.
So does Adrian, his co-host. And Adrian is great.
Right. Both of them are awesome.
I'm so impressed with Adrian. And Alberto, I guess, was Alberto asleep in Steve's studio this morning?
Nico, this morning, Alberto just emerges from KROD's studio, barefoot and with like a blanket and a pillow and looking disoriented.
I'll tell
and
you.
He's all, "Hey, good morning."
Yeah, right. He walks out, he's got like a cowlick sticking up off the side of his head.
He was just sleeping here.
I can relate to that.
Yes, you can. You slept here.
Is Alberto, and I don't mean anything by this, is he an unhoused individual
No,
at this point?
he definitely has a house.
Okay.
And I know it's nearby, so I don't know why he was asleep here.
Apparently, Steve just mocks him ruthlessly on his show all the time.
Heard.
And is just like, you shouldn't even have a job.
Well, he doesn't. I think he comes in and doesn't get paid.
No, he's not an intern. He gets paid.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's our intern.
Yeah, he's our intern.
I used to be intimidated to be on Steve's show because Steve is so knowledgeable about sports, and he's still knowledgeable, but he's not as up to date because, he's married, he has a kid, he's got all these other responsibilities, but he would just dazzle you with all the stats that he knew about sports. And I got to tell you, I was intimidated about it because I'm more of a casual sports fan at this point.
Now he's ignorant, though.
I wouldn't call Steve ignorant. It's just there are some things like when's the next NBA game that if you'd asked him that 20 years ago,
right at the top of his head,
he would know what time, what network, just little stuff like that. But I think my sports ignorance shows through pretty readily. I just hope it doesn't show through when he comes in here on this show. I try to act like I know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You get away with it most of the time.
It's the Hollywood Cheese Man. It's the Hollywood Cheese Man. Joanna, tell us more.
Here is Joanna Barbo with your Hollywood news. It's the Hollywood Cheese Man. Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning. Comedian and longtime former host of The Daily Show, Jon Stewart, will host 2 live episodes of the Comedy Central series following the presidential debates between President Joe Biden and Donald Trump. The episodes are scheduled for Thursday, June 27th and Tuesday, September 10th as part of the show's Indecision 2024 election coverage. The Daily Show will also cover both the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee from July 15th through the 18th and the Democratic National Convention in Chicago from August 19th to the 22nd, where it will tape a full week of shows. Disney has been leaning into its raunchier content lately, but nothing is quite as shocking as a blood-soaked bathroom filled with rusted materials intended to kill you. In a slightly confusing move, the first 7 installments of the Saw franchise have landed on Disney Plus's Hulu bundle. So next time you want to pair Saw 3 with your nightly rewatch of Bluey, Hulu makes it easy. The collection includes the first 6 Saws and Saw 3D, a.k.a. Saw the Final Chapter. After you've watched all those kills, Jigsaw, Spiral, and Saw X are also available to stream through Hulu with its Stars add-on.
Do you want to play a game? Gosh, I'm not sure.
Imagine Goofy trying to listen to the instructions.
I just got that mashup right now.
Well, now I'm supposed to do what with the bear claw?
Of course, having the serial killing puppet on Mickey's home streaming network is a little off-putting to some who were confused but entertained by the idea of Billy the Puppet becoming a Disney princess. With one user writing, "Next challenge is for the children to watch 7 Saw movies on Disney+."
I saw the first Saw movie, and I honestly did not see the point of seeing any more Saw movies. It just seemed like it had kind of...
For one whole weekend, I watched all the Saw movies.
All of the Saws.
That's a lot of Saw to take, but now I'm a huge fan.
So I bought the Disney and Hulu streaming bundle.
Oh, you can watch
really?
Saw.
You did?
Yeah.
For a month?
Yes,
For a
that
month?
is for this month. And it's nice because it comes together. But I did notice that, and I used the Disney app to get through to it. But
Hulu, okay.
in the Disney app, it will have all your Disney, what you expect to see. But then Hulu, and then it'll have like suggestions for adult movies, like horrors and this and that. And it is kind of weird to see that next to the Marvel or the Disney characters. I kind of relate to this story a lot.
Meanwhile, Saw 11 will debut next Halloween.
Wasn't there
They're so good.
Wasn't there an entire Chris Rock themed Saw a few years ago?
There was Spiral. It was like a spin-off of Saw. Pretty good. Sony Pictures Entertainment has acquired Alamo Drafthouse Cinema for an undisclosed amount, with Alamo joining the company under the newly created Sony Pictures Experiences division. As part of the deal, current Alamo Drafthouse CEO Michael Kusterman will remain in his role and report to SPE President and COO Ravi Ahuja. For now, existing Alamo Drafthouse theaters will continue to operate as normal. In a statement, Ahuja reassured that Sony would continue to welcome content from all studios and distributors. Sony's purchase comes on the heels of a 2020 court ruling that repealed the Paramount Consent Decrees, allowing movie studios to own movie theater chains for the first time since 1948. No word, though, on the 6 Alamo Drafthouse locations in Texas that closed their doors as their franchise declared bankruptcy. It's unclear what this acquisition will mean for those locations.
None of those were in El Paso, though, right?
No, sir. Not at all. And finally, the results are in. According to Zip Health, there are 3 top artists that you all are listening to while getting it on. The study asked more than 1,000 people about the music they listen to during sex and analyzed Spotify playlists. The first 2 are The Weeknd and Kanye West. But for rock lovers, it's clear what you're listening to.
9 Inch Nails?
This isn't 9 Inch Nails. This is Deftones.
Deftones, sorry.
Who doesn't know rock music now?
Metal fans say that they love hearing Chino Moreno moaning all hot and bothered above a Deftones groove while they're having sex. Within the genre, Slipknot ranked at number 2, while System of a Down rounded out the top 3. Metal did rank higher in select categories. 72% of respondents, for instance, said that they preferred something heavy playing while they were exploring fetishes. To that end, the sleaze-dustrial sound of 9 Inch Nails' iconic Closer was the number 1 song for BDSM playlists and the 5th sexiest song overall.
Wait, did you say BDSM?
Yep.
I'm afraid you're going to have to break that down for me.
BDSM.
Mm-hmm. What is that?
Come on, stop. Don't make her do that.
Thank you, DJ.
But you knew we were talking about sex music playlist, right?
Was he not paying attention?
No, he's not paying attention.
No, I was just trying to look up to my getting down to business music.
Yeah, what songs
I'm
do
pretty
you
old school.
listen to? That is old school, but a classic nonetheless.
Look.
I really think that one scene in Queen of the Damned changed the song for a lot of people. And that is probably why this is at the top. With your entertainment news, I'm Joanna Barba.
Music news, concert updates, song and album factoids, and of course, nothing but El Paso's best rock. All
Go to ZipRecruiter.me. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Enderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
Joanna's going to be all over town the next couple of days. Later tonight, she's going to be hosting and introducing the bands at Cool Canyon Nights. And tonight, it is Dave Hamilton and the Electric Dave Orchestra. Dave is playing the electric cello, and he's got a bunch of other talented musicians who are going to be joining on him. They're going to play like classic versions, but still with the lyrics of bands like Led Zeppelin and Disturbed, even Selena and Evanescence, Zeppelin, and more. So come out. It's a free concert every Thursday night. Parking is free, too. And bring your appetite because they have some delicious food out there. Great food truck set up. Cool Canyon Nights, you get in the door starting at 6 o'clock, and music starts after that. The main stage music starts at 7 o'clock. And even though it's going to be a very warm day, it cools off nicely. It really does. Back there, nestled in the canyon, you get the shadow off the mountain covering you up. It's really nice. That is Q Connected. Excuse me, I'm looking at the wrong thing for a second. That is Cool Canyon Nights. And then tomorrow from 4 to 6, Joanna's going to be at Sunland Park Racetrack and Casino. Woo! And they're celebrating Father's Day early. She'll have prize packages to give away every 15 minutes. I've got a true crime report on the way here in just a few. And in just a second, there's been a big shakeup in the world of competitive eating. Competitive eating.
Yeah.
Think of trying to explain that to some kids in Somalia. We have so much food, you guys, that people just stuff it in their mouth, and we see who can go put the most food down their gullet before they gag. Here, let me get that fly.
I mean, they also don't have Food Network, I assume.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I got a few calls I want to get to. These are just some of the calls we've had since yesterday's show.
Hey, guys, one question. What happened to the AfterBuzz? I haven't seen it. It said last updated 2 weeks ago, so I'm like, ¿qué pasó? Just asking.
All right.
Not for a friend.
Okay.
And for myself, too, but mostly for a friend. All right, guys. Thanks.
Nico, we did an AfterBuzz on Tuesday.
We did. So I've looked into this already. The last 2 episodes of the AfterBuzz were uploaded, but there were some problems in the software, and the media that was attached to it didn't get fully converted. So anyways, I just checked into it, and both should be up right now.
Within minutes.
Yeah, within minutes. It says the episode is converting. So,
and we're going to do another AfterBuzz today.
Yep.
Let's really follow through and make sure that thing gets put up.
They were up.
Well, apparently they weren't, though.
They were not, because the media didn't connect to it. But
well, I'm just saying
that's something that
once you put them up, go and check on the thing and confirm that it loaded.
I thought it did. Yeah.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. Go to where people get their download and confirm that it did. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I'm asking.
All right.
All right, here's another call.
Good morning, guys. I was listening this morning when you were talking about the cicadas, and yeah, we call them chichadas down here in El Paso.
Joanna, is that right?
Yeah.
That we have cicadas,
but we don't have cicadas.
What does chichada mean?
I'm trying to think what it is.
Is some kind of bug?
Yes,
but not a cicada.
Not.
But I wanted to say, back in the day, like in elementary school, like 4th grade, over there at Coldwell, good old Coldwell Warhawks, we used to catch those chichadas, and then you could tie a string on their leg. Right, and walk them around. They would fly like your little friend, like a little pet or something. And we would take them into school, and they would be flying along with you in the hallway.
Okay, I don't know if I'm having
pet
cicada. Uh-huh.
I cannot tell if I'm having my leg pulled at this point.
He sounds serious.
But what would happen was the teachers hated this stuff, because what would eventually happen is the chichada would get off the string and then go land up there on the ceiling somewhere and start buzzing like crazy. So you would have those dang chichadas inside the school all over the place doing their thing, making their little song. And
So you're saying they're not cicadas, though?
I don't know what they are, but they kind of look like cicadas.
Crickets? Grasshoppers?
No, they fly.
Well, grasshoppers kind of fly.
It would drive the teachers crazy.
All right. Chichadas. All right.
Funny.
Buzz, pop me up. This is cicadas in Spanish.
Cigarras.
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 Okay.
Cicadas. Cigarras.
Cicadas.
Maybe we did have cicadas, but maybe we just don't have as many that it becomes a nuisance. Like
It's also la chichara. Yeah, chichara is also cicada.
I guess the guy's right. Here's another call.
What's up, Mo Show? It's ODG.
Hey.
Y'all really have blinders on for Israel, don't y'all?
It's another ODG Israel call.
Israel could literally nuke Gaza, and y'all would say Israel is just defending itself. They had to nuke Gaza. They could all...
There are probably plenty of people in Israel who wish that was on the table. I mean, I'll agree with you on that. I bet there are plenty of Israelis that just wish they could do that. It's it's tragic that these people can't live together somehow.
They could all be potential terrorists. Even the babies. It's like Schrodinger's terrorist cat. Y'all don't like Trump, right? Well, Israel is a country run by a bunch of Trumpers in the Israeli government. Even the left-wingers in Israel are like Trump. In fact...
I guess ODG just does not like Jews, is what it sounds like.
Yeah. I mean, this is just coming off as anti-Semitic at this point.
This is just right. This just comes off as anti-Semitic.
Look,
nobody here is saying they should wipe out as many Palestinians as possible. And I'll grant you, the UN says that war crimes have been committed by Israel. But that attack in October was a terrorist attack. The last time we were attacked by terrorists on our home soil at a level like this, we went and invaded countries and were responsible for way more deaths than have been in Gaza so far.
Not to brag.
Not to make it a peeing contest here or anything.
Well, also, it's weird that he would take this tact when it just says that you don't know the history of things. I mean, you got to look back, and Israel has been attacked within the past 10 to 15 years. They have had several missile attacks.
Right. Yeah, you remember that Iron Dome? That's because they are sending so many missiles in trying to kill indiscriminately, and they don't have military targets. They just want to bomb Israel, and that's everyday life for the Israeli citizens. This October 7th, though, was unprecedented even by the standards of Hamas, to go in and terrorize and kill and kidnap a bunch of people who were minding their own business.
I will say, I mean, there is something to what he's saying, though, and that's why it's so unfortunate that everybody either is so extreme one way or the other. Absolutely, the Netanyahu government, it's a right-wing extremist government. Do I think that maybe the policies enacted by Netanyahu and his administration over the past 10 years have been excessive to Palestinians? And maybe that has caused resentment among them over the past 10 years.
But not to justify anything.
No, I'm not trying to justify it, but I'm saying that, sure, I could see that point of view. I could see how you would say that, but that doesn't erase the unconditional support I have for people who are the only democracy in that area.
I can tell you, if you're gay, especially if you're LGBT of any kind, or a woman, or something other than Muslim, you would not enjoy living in Palestine. That would not be a pleasant place for you to be.
Right.
And Israel, despite being surrounded by, countries that have hated them forever, is the closest thing we have to an American-style democracy in that entire region of the world.
How's it going, guys? ODG needs to learn the difference between hostages and prisoners of war / criminals. So, yeah. So he needs to know that difference. And why is he supporting Palestine? I thought he was on the right. Only the left supports Palestine. So, yeah.
You want to talk about seeing things in black and white terms again. Only the left supports Palestine. No, there are plenty of anti-Semitic hate groups that they probably hate them both. Let me get one more call, then we'll take a break. And then I'm going to tell you, big news out of the world of competitive eating. The two biggest stars are no longer allowed to participate in the biggest competitive eating event.
Yeah, there was a big story over the weekend about a famous competitive eater who was banned from the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Well, Kobayashi, who is he's the Japanese guy that weighs like 130 pounds. He hasn't been participating because he signed an endorsement deal with another hot dog manufacturer, or hot dog concern, I guess. And now Joey Chestnut, who's the other famous competitive eater. But he signed a deal with vegan hot dogs. So I say lifetime ban for that.
I really don't know if it's wise to call ODG anti-Semitic. If you remember the very first time I called your show, and I'm not even sure you knew it was me, but I called up and screamed about ODG saying something very anti-Semitic, and he called back in response the next day and called me a crybaby and said I needed a ambulance. And, as a middle school teacher, I've never suffered such abuse as being called a crybaby and a wambulance, and being told I needed a ambulance. I actually had to go into therapy for about 4 or 5 weeks before I could go out in public again after that vicious attack by ODG.
He said dripping with sarcasm.
Right.
But I also want to point out that if you remember, he proved he was not anti-Semitic because he stated out loud on his call that he's a fan of Seinfeld. So there you go. Don't ever call him an anti-Semite again, because remember, he's a fan of Seinfeld. So, there you go. There's the proof. Stop it, Buzz. You're just being mean. Bye.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll find out about this huge shakeup in the world of competitive eating. The fact that we have competitive eating is another reason that people who are starving hate us. That's on the way right after this.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5.
Accessories, free delivery, and 60 months interest-free financing. Only at Mattress Firm.
Local and loco.
Don't you know I'm loco?
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, 95.5 KLAQ.
Joanna, so you're saying right now, or whenever I go home, I can watch 3 episodes of the new season of The Boys?
Yes, you can.
On Amazon Prime.
But you have to watch Gen V first.
I'm not going
my
to do that.
nephews
I
told me
tried.
that.
Yeah. Apparently, a big plot point of the new season of The Boys is from the spinoff show. What was it called?
Gen V.
Gen V. It should have been called. It should have been called Sky High 2. Because it's like
there is already a Sky High 2.
Okay, Sky High 3 then. We have a few calls, and people are trying to shed some light on the guy who calls in and says that they used to tie cicadas on a string when they were in school.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's calling me out, and they're like, Joanna, they are cicadas.
I've got a few calls here that beg to differ.
Oh.
Yeah, my grandfather told me that story about how he used to tie a string to the beetle, but it wasn't a cicada, it was a June bug. But yeah, he would do the same thing, tie a string to it and let it fly around. He tried to show me one time too, but he was kind of old and a little shaky. So every time he tried to tie the string around the leg, the beetle ended up losing the leg. Anyway, good morning.
I guess you don't have the same dexterous, nimble hands that you did when you were in grade school. And here's another call.
Hey, guys, talking about that guy that's saying that he used to string up chicharras and take them inside school and fly around on a string. Those are June bugs. I used to do it when I was little. We used to catch them and tie a string to their legs, and they would try to fly off, but they would get held back by the string, and they would just float there, flying. So, yeah, those are June bugs that he's talking about. All right, thanks.
Man, people must have
heard people call the
starved for entertainment back in the old days, huh?
Well, you used to get a stick and a
hoop. You run down the street with a stick and a hoop. This is what we got to do until the next cicada season.
I mean, we have you here to tell us what it was like to play with those things. I mean,
June bugs are pretty big, and I don't see a lot of those Yeah, I'm sure they're around, but I don't see a lot of them. You know
I've
what?
definitely seen June bugs in El Paso.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen some, but maybe the thing with cicadas, maybe they were cicadas. We just don't have them in as great a numbers as they do. Because I guess they're a real problem.
Right. But you know what I've never seen in El Paso?
Mormon beetle?
A freaking firefly.
I have never seen a firefly, also known as a lightning bug.
Yeah, I've never seen fireflies ever in person.
They're really pretty.
They look pretty.
When you see them out over a field, have you only ever seen them on TV, or have you seen them anywhere
on,
with
like
your own
movies and
Yeah.
TV, but never in real life.
There's a period of the year for about 4 to 6 weeks, and it's coming up where I grew up in Oklahoma. Every night you see these lightning bugs, and they only light up for like a second or
So
two.
you have seen them?
I have seen them. I've never seen them in El Paso.
Oh, okay.
No, Joanna's never seen them.
I've never
period.
seen them in person.
We used to go and collect them and put them in a jar, and we'd sit in the jar, poke holes so they could breathe and stuff, and put some grass in there and some water, like we were going to keep them as pets. But you just keep them overnight, and it's like having a little lantern. They generate enough light that you can sit there and have like a little night light next to your bed, and then you let them go in the morning.
That's how Buzz read his comic books at night.
I don't know if they were
is
bright
it?
enough to read by. I wouldn't go that far, but
Imagine somebody just has millions of fireflies to light up their house.
This is how I save money on electricity.
Powered by Firefly.
let's talk a little bit about this big shakeup in the world of competitive eating.
Okay.
Now, that is a thing that must seem very American to a lot of people in the third world. Joey Chestnut has been banned from the annual Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest for this year. The reason is Joey Chestnut signed a deal with a vegan hot dog company, and that breaks the rules of the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest. Which I guess I get that. You know, if you're putting on this thing that's the most famous eating event in the world, again, that just sounds weird to say.
What are they, the PGA?
They're like the NFL of, I mean, that's the Masters tournament of competitive eating.
Yeah, but
the Nathan's Hot Dog on 4th of July.
But them being endorsed by other brands of hot dog, I mean, that's like Live Golf Tournament versus PGA. Just
yeah,
let
but
them.
they started it. But Nathan's,
just let them eat. Let them be endorsed by whatever. Who cares?
Well,
it's hot dog eating.
Kobayashi is the most famous competitive eater, and Joey Chestnut is the second. But Kobayashi hasn't participated since, I believe, 2010 because he refused to sign an exclusive contract. The last time they competed against each other was 2009, and Chestnut won. He ate 68 hot dogs in 10 minutes, and Kobayashi ate 64 and a half. Kobayashi did this technique that has been widely imitated where he eats the hot dog meat, but he takes the bread, dunks it in water so that he can basically drink it like a sludge. You know, he dips the hot dog bun and gets it wet.
Like a seagull just like opens up his mouth.
He's like a throat goat.
Yeah. The greatest of all time as far as throats go.
Yeah.
Throat goat. I like that.
Yeah.
Remember that time I tried to eat a bunch of hot dogs?
Oh, wow, Joanna.
On this show. God,
When's the last time you tried to eat a bunch of wieners?
it's been a while.
How'd you do?
Not good. Did not do good at all. I thought I could eat like 8. I only got through like 4.
Well, we thought Duke could eat a lot, but Duke does eat a lot, but Duke
slowly
eats slowly.
Yeah. Duke is the kind to enter like a pie eating contest just to eat free pie.
Yeah, and just sit there and take his time.
Yeah. He's like, oh, pie.
Like he's not competing?
He's just eating the pie. He's all free
Yeah.
pie.
No. Any kind of eating contest, Duke enjoys his food. He takes his time, so he's not a great competitive eater. We really thought that he might have found his calling.
He's a real treasure.
So Joey Chestnut and Kobayashi will not compete this year in the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Championship on 4th of July. But
So who will take it?
But they have set up an event for Labor Day, and I'll tell you about that in a second.
In second place with 63 hot dogs and buns, Takeru Kobayashi. Chestnut has done it. In first place with 66 hot dogs and buns, Joey Chestnut.
Baby, it's been the best 3 years of my life, and I can't live without you. Will you marry me?
Yes!
A new world record. 74 Nathan's Famous Hot Dogs and Buns.
He's done it. Joey Chestnut has the new world record.
With 62 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes for his 16th win. I give you the number 1 ranked eater in the world, Joey Chestnut.
That's just kind of an audio rundown of this rivalry that has come to mean so much to so many.
And now just memories remain.
Well, now Kobayashi and Joey Chestnut are going to face off since both of them are banned from the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Championship. It's happening on Labor Day and it will air on Netflix. It's called Chestnut versus Kobayashi Unfinished Beef. Are Nathan's beef hot dogs? They don't have like pig lips in it
They're
or anything?
supposed to be all beef.
Yeah, they're all beef. Yeah.
Delicious.
Last time they competed, 2009, Joey Chestnut won. Chestnut says, quote, "Through all my years of competitive eating, Kobayashi stands out as my fiercest rival. Competing against him pushed me to be better. It's time to give the people what they want." But since we can't do that, we're going to have a competitive eating contest on Labor Day. If you got Netflix, you'll be able to check it out and see these two great competitors, see who can shove the most wieners down their throat in the allotted time.
Chestnut.
Wow, Joey Chestnut.
Kobayashi.
Kobayashi puts it in.
Get ready for dog snog and wiener stuff and bun gulp in action.
Most amazing competitive eating contest I have ever seen.
It's unfinished beef.
You saw Kobayashi. Did you see him at all? Did you make eye contact? And what were your thoughts?
Absolutely not. If you're the real man, you'd be on the stage.
Labor Day.
Ba-bam. Now I want a hot dog.
Yeah, hot dog does sound good now.
Oh, yeah.
Let's take a break. When we come back, news headlines. Nico's going to have our top stories on the way.
Drug-resistant dual mutant flu strains are being tracked by the CDC. I'll have the details next in news.
Coming up after the Buzz Adams Morning Show, Glenn Garza and Daniel Paulus.
Jack in the Box. Before this, at Jack, every bite's a big deal.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary.
Oh, we're back. Buzz is back.
Hey, right on, Buzz.
Buzz in the Morning Show, 95.5 The Q.
We are going to have an after buzz, and any of those after buzzes that didn't load up right should be available by now.
Yeah, they should be.
Okay. Somebody wants to check on that and let us know.
Yeah.
But we'll be doing an AfterBuzz today. You can subscribe to our AfterBuzz podcast, and Tuesdays and Thursdays are the days that we do the AfterBuzz.
Let's double check the software.
Yep. Make sure stuff is working. You didn't just forget, did you?
No.
Okay.
No. It says sometimes, like, Joanna, right?
No,
like
we've actually been having some issues with it lately.
Media uploads incorrectly.
Let's get a look at El Paso weather and the golfers forecast, brought to you by Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. And I would tell you, if you can stand the intense heat, the winds are going to be light and there's no rain in the forecast. So for golfers, if you can stand the heat, that makes for some pretty good golf days. Sunny today and, get ready. I'm not sure about today. 109. It's going to be the warmest day of the year.
Ugh.
But sunshine, light winds, hardly any winds at all, actually. Friday is going to be 104, and it looks like we're going to be in that neighborhood, 104, 105 for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, with winds between 5 and 10 miles an hour. So, as I say, the intense heat is the only thing that might dissuade you from going out and doing active stuff outside, but it's not going to be the wind because we're not going to have a lot of that. And it's not going to be the rain because we don't have any rain in the forecast. The golfer's forecast is brought to you by Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. Set your tee times online at painteddunes.com or call 915-821-2122. That's 821-2122 for Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. And don't forget, the 4th annual Red, White, and Brew Fireworks Show is coming up Wednesday, July the 3rd. It's at Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. big fireworks display. They really go all out on their fireworks display. They're going to have live music, barbecue, water slides, and jumping balloons for the kids, vendors, and a lot more. That is July 3rd at the Red, White, and Brew Fireworks Show at Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. Get that information at painteddunes.com. And it's time for us to take a look at our news headlines, so let's go ahead and get started with that.
Okay, let's hear it.
It begins
Now.
All right, and with our look at news, here's Nico Jimmy. Good morning, Nico.
Good morning, Buzz. Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning.
Let's get all the dry stuff out of the way up top. Despite hopes that things might change this month, yesterday's announcement from the Federal Reserve wasn't a surprise. In a press conference yesterday, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell said that inflation had cooled quite a bit over the last 2 years, but the current rate of 2.7% was still well above the Fed's target of 2%. As a result, Powell announced that the baseline interest rates would stay unchanged this month, remaining at a 23-year high. In a statement released by the Fed yesterday, economic activity in the U.S., quote, has continued to expand at a solid pace, while the increase in jobs has, quote, remained strong and the unemployment rate has remained low. The agency has previously predicted several rate cuts this year, but the Fed now projects only one, with no predictions for when that might happen. On a monthly basis, inflation did not rise at all for the first time since July of 2022. At the press conference, here is Jerome Powell of the Federal Reserve talking about a lot of progress that's been made to improve the economy, but not done yet.
The labor market has come into better balance with continued strong job gains and a low unemployment rate. Inflation has eased substantially from a peak of 7% to 2.7%, but is still too high. Today, the FOMC decided to leave our policy interest rate unchanged and to continue to reduce our securities holdings.
So no change in the interest rate.
No change in the interest rate. And in politics, after over 6 hours of discussion, the House of Representatives voted yesterday to pass a resolution to hold Attorney General Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress. The resolution was based on the fact that Garland refused to turn over the audio recordings made by special counsel Robert Hur when he interviewed President Joe Biden on his handling of classified documents. House Speaker Mike Johnson says Congress needs the recordings to verify the accuracy of the written transcripts, given, quote, this White House has been known to heavily edit the president's statements. Not sure if that's true or not.
I think what this is about is they have the transcript of what was said, and they've already kind of milked that to make Biden look old and out of touch. But I think they just want any kind of audio that they can put out
to
there.
go with it. Like,
There
we
might
have
be-
the transcript, but we need to make sure the audio matches.
Right. We want to see if they're going to look and find out if there was a moment where he got confused or, referred to somebody by the wrong name. They're just looking for something that would be embarrassing to Biden because it's an election year. Now, they said that this is contempt of Congress by not turning over the recordings themselves. But I would be interested to hear what Merrick Garland has to say about that.
Well, President Biden has claimed executive privilege over the recordings, but not the transcripts. Democratic members of the House unsurprisingly said the resolution was politically motivated, and the sharp divide on the issue showed in the final vote. Only one Republican, Representative David Joyce of Ohio, voted against the resolution, while all Democrats voted against it. The final tally was 216 to 207. On the House floor before the vote, here is Representative Jim Jordan saying the House is entitled to all of the evidence.
We think we're entitled, actually, we know we're entitled to all the evidence and the best evidence. And the transcripts alone are not sufficient evidence of the state of the president's memory, especially since the executive branch has a history of changing transcripts.
Also, why is it their duty to prosecute? The prosecutor already said, no, we're not prosecuting.
Nothing worth. And these were about the documents case against Biden.
Your job isn't to prosecute Congress.
I think what I see here is you find maybe a moment where Biden sounds confused, but you don't need the special counsel interview for that. Listen to any interview or public speaking engagement he does. And, I think they're just looking for audio that's going to show up in a bunch of pro-Trump ads. the actual audio hits harder than the transcript does. And I think this is cynically what the Republicans in Congress are all about.
Well, when anybody is held in contempt of Congress, the resolution directs the House Speaker to refer the case to the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia for possible criminal prosecution. Still in politics, President Joe Biden previously said he would not pardon his son Hunter if the jury convicted him of 3 federal gun charges. But that's only one option available to the president.
I saw this.
A reporter asked
This is weak.
A reporter asked White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre yesterday on Air Force One if the president would consider a commutation of Hunter's eventual sentence. And Jean-Pierre avoided comment on the idea. She referred back to the president's former comments about not pardoning Hunter, saying he was asked about a pardon, he was asked about the trial specifically, and he answered it very clearly.
Okay. But, and you tell me, when Americans hear this, Americans who don't have law degrees or political science degrees, the president says, I will not pardon my son. We take that to mean you're also not going to commute his sentence. Yeah? I mean, if he gets a jail time and Biden commutes his sentence,
to
me, in my mind, that's the same as a pardon. You know,
a commutation means it lowers the sentence or punishment. So if he got 25 years, he can make it like 10 years or 1 year or whatever.
Well, all the legal experts are saying it would be virtually unheard of for this to carry a prison sentence. But since it's, an election year again, who knows what they'll try to do. But I'm just saying, I found that very encouraging that Biden came out and said, I'll respect the jury's decision. I'm not going to pardon my son. But now if they're backing off of that and saying I might do a commutation, to the voting public, that's the same thing.
Yeah. It
may not be the same thing in all the details, but it's the same thing. Are you going to interfere with this because of your presidential power? And that would be very disappointing.
But also, doesn't it seem superfluous to speculate on something that hasn't even happened yet? There is no trial or there is no sentencing yet.
Jean-Pierre was not prepared to answer that question leads me to believe that maybe it's still something that is on the table.
Well, it doesn't matter because we don't know till sentencing happens.
It's a pretty Weasley way to go toward this, especially when I thought Biden was kind of restoring confidence in the justice system and the Justice Department.
Hey, look, I say criticize when it happens. All right, this story for
if
Buzz.
It does, I will.
Yeah, sure. I probably will too. This is for Buzz. A proposal to ban churches with women pastors.
Is this the Baptist again?
This is the Baptist again. A proposal to ban churches with women pastors failed by a slim margin during yesterday's annual meeting of the Southern Baptist Convention, but they did approve another stance. Now, Joanna.
Wait, so women can be pastors?
Yes. Well, they had already allowed.
Look at Buzz.
I thought this was a big story last year.
That's where they barely made the recommendation to vote on it.
Oh, and so they had the vote a year later.
They have voted now.
They have voted because they had allowed women to be pastors up to I think 2 years ago when it happened. And then they wanted to wanted to ban it again.
I was brought up in the Southern Baptist Church. I never saw a female pastor. And I had female Sunday school teachers, and our music director now at my home church is a lady.
Well, is there something that's in the Baptist Bible that says only men?
One of the letters of Paul said that women should be silent in church, so they hang everything on that. Even though there's ample evidence that women had very, very important leadership roles in the early church.
The measure received 61% of the delegates during the vote, but the measure needed 2/3 majority to pass, so that means 66%. They only were shy of banning women by 5%.
I've been to Methodist services where they have, the pastor is a lady or an associate pastor is a lady, and they don't seem to have a problem with it. What's going on with the what were you, Lutheran? Episcopalian
and Catholic. I was Episcopalian.
Well, I know about the Catholics. They got lady priests. They're called nuns, right?
Yeah.
Lady priests.
So, Joanna, Buzz's brother is a Baptist preacher.
Oh, really?
And so
What's the rules there?
Well, I'm pretty sure he was part of this conference. So I really want you to call your brother.
And ask him?
Did he vote on this?
No, I don't think so.
How do you know?
Because I don't think he goes to the conventions.
How do you know?
I just don't. He's never talked about it.
Do you guys talk about that stuff?
No. We find other things to talk about. Fishing mostly.
Another measure did pass. A measure against in vitro fertilization, with a majority of member churches saying they're against it. The sticking point is that IVF creates multiple embryos, and many churches have said that each of those embryos should be treated as a person. IVF does have broad support across political party lines and the country, though.
I think there are a lot of people who consider themselves good Christian church-going people who want to have a baby, and maybe it's not so easy, and they want to have IVF, and they feel like that's a line too far.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's get into some health and science news. This isn't the announcement of a summertime flu outbreak, but this is an announcement that could mean problems later in the year. At least 2 cases of a new dual mutant strain of the H1N1 flu were found in patients last fall and winter.
Dual mutants like Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Yep. Well, that's according to the CDC. The agency says that an analysis of the virus, that tickles you a lot, right?
Look at Joanna. She's got her microphone off. She was trying to, so that you wouldn't hear her laughing.
Was that hilarious?
The way he's laughing about it, he's all, like he's all
him
wheezy.
laughing at his own joke is the funny part. Okay, yeah,
He's
yeah.
all wheezing over there. Wheezy.
The agency says that an analysis of the virus shows mutations that could make this strain highly resistant to the main flu antivirals used to treat the flu in hospitals. The 2 cases were detected by the Connecticut Department of Health and the University of Michigan. Well, in some good scientific news, another Oklahoma story for you, Buzz. An Oklahoma girl has become the first pediatric patient in the world to have robotic deep brain stimulation performed on her. The patient, 8-year-old Carly Fry, suffers from rapid onset primary dystonia, a neurological movement disorder that causes involuntary muscle contractions. A joint team at Oklahoma Children's Hospital, OU Health, and Bethany Children's Health Center began exploring options and decided she might be a good candidate for deep brain stimulation. That's where they essentially put an electrode deep in your brain.
And it activates and sends like a pulse or something?
It does, and slowly modulates or controls the pulse.
Makes the symptoms of your condition lessen?
I assume that's the point of it. Quote, "This marked the global debut of using a robot from our operating rooms to perform deep brain stimulation in a child, setting a precedent not only in Oklahoma, but also across the United States and worldwide." That's according to pediatric neurosurgeon Dr. Andrew Jaya. Using a robot to perform the procedure enhances surgical precision and safety. Good news.
Sure.
And in local...
Does the Baptist have a problem with that too?
Stop it! Stop it!
God said, "Thou shalt not put little computers in thy brain."
All right, time for some El Paso news. Well, people are now returning to their homes yesterday after a busted water main opened a sinkhole in central El Paso on Tuesday, displacing 20 residents. Around 11 p.m. on Tuesday, a water main broke on Tularosa Avenue and Stevens, just east of Copia, flooding the block and creating a sinkhole that swallowed 2 cars.
But free swimming for the kids.
Yeah. As a result, at least 20 people were ordered to evacuate the area, but have now returned. El Paso Water's Utility Chief Operations Officer Felipe Lopez called the damage to the street substantial because the broken 24-inch water main carries thousands of gallons of water at a high pressure. Also, Janet, did you see that FitFam video of, I don't know if it was a Walmart or a Sam's or a Costco, where I guess a forklift hit
It was the Sam's in the Northeast.
Was it the Sam's in the Northeast?
Yes.
Buzz, a forklift hit a water pipe in the Sam's in the Northeast, and it somehow caused the entire store to flood and rain down.
Like out of the sprinkler system?
It did look like it was raining, didn't it?
It looked like it was raining, yeah.
In the
it all flooded.
In the video, yeah. And they were like all trying to sweep the water away. This is a story that has gone nationally. A El Paso couple was in a deadly hot tub incident at a Mexican resort.
Okay. I don't want to comment until I hear what caused, and they died, both of them?
They did, yeah.
What happened?
I'm trying to get past this paywall that's now taking forever. A couple from El Paso were the victims of a deadly jacuzzi incident.
I think the wife is in critical condition.
Jorge Guillen, 43, was electrocuted while in a hot tub at the Resort Sonora Sea in Puerto Peñasco, while Lizette Zambrano, 35, was shocked and then rushed to a hospital. Video of the aftermath of the incident is now going viral on social media. In the video, you can see what looks like dozens of people flocking towards a hot tub, frantically running for help. According to members of the couple, Zambrano remains in critical condition. You are correct, Joanna.
Members of the couple?
According to family members of the couple, Zambrano remains in critical condition.
It's awful.
Yeah, right?
On vacation, you want to enjoy a nice soak in a jacuzzi?
The video is so devastating.
I don't want to see it.
Don't.
I think you tricked me into watching that lady get hit by a train
I'm
last
sorry.
week.
Yeah, oh my God, that one was bad.
I'm sorry.
I think, though, that that's the reason it's going viral. I saw it in national news about this couple from El Paso. Why are people still vacationing in Mexico?
Puerto Peñasco is very popular. You know, it's the closest that you get to just by driving beach to El Paso is
Puerto Peñasco?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You drive down through Arizona and then you go down into Mexico a little bit, and it's way closer than going to Galveston or something, or to L.A. or San Diego. So a lot of people do make that their destination. They have very rocky beaches in Puerto Peñasco.
Well, a local El Paso fitness icon is asking for the community's support as he competes
Yes,
for...
I am.
Fitness. I said fitness icon.
I thought you said fatness.
Damn it. That was the next thing I was going to say. As he competes for Mr. Health and Fitness. Doug Briggs is in third place right now, so far, for Mr. Health and Fitness competition. He's a local who's dedicated his time to fitness, even while serving in the U.S. Marine Corps. He is currently the program director for holistic health and fitness at Fort Bliss. He was a professor at NMSU. And now, if you'd like to vote for him, you can go to the Mr. Health and Fitness website and click on his profile. What are you looking at?
Just looked up Doug Briggs.
Yep, that's him. The one with the mustache.
Director of Human Performance, U.S. Army, Fort Bliss. Guy, he might be older than me.
Oh, you should see the picture of his arms, though.
I wish I could go over and start working out with him. No, I don't.
Actually, that'd be interesting. My last local story. El Paso District Attorney Bill Hicks is pointing.
This is a big story.
Is pointing fingers at a local judge for the dismissal of dozens of migrant riot cases. I may have told you on Monday that County Court Judge Ruben Morales had dismissed 59 cases of alleged riot charges that happened along the border. During a news conference on Tuesday, DA Bill Hicks acknowledged the dismissals, but said that the judge dismissed the cases due to a clerical error.
He called it an erroneous order.
The judge did, right?
No,
or
Bill Hicks did.
Well, so this is the second or third time that the judge has had to dismiss these because he's saying that there is this disconnect between federal immigration law and his jurisdiction for doing anything.
He said that he did not have jurisdiction over the 59 cases of migrants who, I hear some people call it a riot. I hear other people say that's not the right term for it, but I guess there was some kind of failure to disperse or breach in the border fence.
Well, DA Hicks said his office now has two options on how to handle the cases. Not just the 59 that were dismissed this past week, but 200 and other cases that were dismissed last week. He says that they can either go back to the grand jury to indict the cases again or appeal the judge's order. DA Hicks also took time out of the news conference to claim that Public Defender Kelly Childress Diaz has ulterior motives behind the cases. Quote, I think that Ms. Childress, the public defender, has a political motive. Hicks then went on to explain that Childress Diaz had other options for her clients, but didn't even consider them. Quote, they could have gone to trial. They could have pled their case. They could have even gotten their cases. They're defending their clients out of jail. They waived several bond hearings.
Isn't that what a defense attorney is supposed to do? Try and get their clients out of jail?
Well, the public defender has hit back and refuted his allegations, saying, quote, they're absolutely silly. If I had political motivations, I wouldn't be a public defender.
Right. If you even had financial motivations, you wouldn't be a public defender.
Quote, the idea that someone should plead guilty to a crime because it's easier on the attorney is a little offensive. And Mr. Hicks, having been a defense attorney, surprises me that he would say that.
All right. You got a couple more stories?
I have.
How about we do
two more?
We do
three more. Yep.
We do a break.
Yep.
We'll come back. I've got the Father's Day giveaway, a $50 gift certificate to Home Depot and a $50 Corralito Steakhouse gift set. And I have a little contest. You can win that. You give it to your dad. Keep it yourself. Give one to your dad, keep one for yourself, whichever way you want to break it up. But we'll have that coming up here in just a few minutes. But Joanna has done it again. She put together a late night roundup for us, a recap of the funniest moments from late night television. And here we go.
New York said that soon your driver's license will be available on your phone. Unfortunately, you have to wait 3 hours in line before opening the DMV app.
A Florida man was arrested while allegedly walking around his neighborhood fully nude, or as that's also known, a Tampa tuxedo.
According to a new Harvard study, aliens could be living among us, disguised as humans, or in a base inside the moon. Yep, that study proves once and for all that Harvard kids can afford the best weed.
Hey, it's Chuck, your host for Loudwire Nights. Tonight at 7, we will rock the borderland with the best rock ever made and the best rock being made. Special guests, birthday and anniversary celebrations, and every night at 10...
Tell your listeners, check out our new location and drive away in the car of their dreams. Right Drive, the only way to drive.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Enderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
All right, Nico's got a few more stories that we're going to get to. I've also got random facts on the way for you this morning. We'll have that as soon as Nico does a couple more news stories. And I want to tell you about 8 Elite Light Lager.
8 Elite Light Lager.
8 Elite Light Lager. 8 Elite Light Lager. I think I'm getting better at that.
Yeah.
This Saturday, 5 to 7, Glenn Garza is going to be at the Moon Tower at 3233 North Mesa. And he will be introducing you, perhaps, to Troy Aikman's new beer, 8 Elite Light Lager. I say maybe because it's already been on the shelves for a couple of weeks, so maybe you've tried it already. Troy Aikman's 8 Elite is made with 100% organic grains, no cheap fillers, and only 90 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. 8 Elite is truly light beer made right. And just for stopping by, we've got some prizes to give away. You could win a $50 NFL gift card. Also register. This could be the last time to get a registration in. You could win a Troy Aikman autographed football helmet, or football rather. The autographed football and the 8 Elite Texas flag. That is all happening tomorrow at the Moon Tower, 3233 North Mesa from 5 to 7 with Glenn Garza and 8 Elite Light Lager.
As far as Hunter Biden, you don't have to pardon somebody when all they're going to get is probation.
This was one of your news stories. So the White House press secretary, Jean-Pierre, yesterday said, well, it kind of evaded the question. What about a commutation? So we're not talking, but Biden's already said he's not going to pardon him. But she wouldn't answer whether commuting his sentence was off. But I think the caller is probably right. All the legal experts, Ellie Honig and all the other legal experts that I see talking about it, say that it would be kind of unfathomable that he would get a maximum 25-year sentence on this, and it probably won't even have any prison time.
Which is why I don't even think the commutation question is a big deal.
Right. So why criticize it until it happens? I would just tell you, if it did, I would be disappointed.
Yeah, me too.
All right. So got a Father's Day prize package to give away. Got those random facts on the way for you here in just a few minutes. And Nico's got a couple of more stories for us.
How would you feel if 30,000 monkeys moved into your neighborhood to raise families?
Wow. I'd be charmed and delighted for about a day, I think. And then after that, it would be like, get a shotgun.
I think it would be fun.
I think places that do have huge monkey populations say that they are a menace, real pest, because they can open doors and,
steal stuff.
They can do anything they want to.
Well, this is the situation that's facing residents of Bainbridge, Georgia, as a company called Safer Human Medicine is getting ready to start building a massive monkey breeding facility in the town of 14,000. Local politicians approved the plan in December, but residents are not happy, and they're fighting back. They're fighting back with the help from People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, or PETA.
Must kill those Georgians to be on the side of PETA.
The project is planned as an almost $400 million investment, which will bring about 260 jobs to the area.
Yeah.
But locals are worried about several problems, including a potential drop in their property values if a giant monkey farm starts operations nearby.
The monkeys aren't going to be running loose through town, are they?
No, this is
unless a Jumanji situation happens, somebody gets sucked into a board game.
This is for medical research, I believe. Monkeys for medical research.
Are they worried that it's going to make a lot of noise, like the sound of hundreds or thousands of monkeys might make a noise pollution hazard?
I guess it might be the same as a town that doesn't want a giant petrochemical plant, because it might also lower the property value.
Or a pork rendering plant because of the smell. There are a lot of places in India that have real monkey problems, but those are wild monkeys that are just running around.
Yeah, it's the place where Indiana Jones had to steal the Temple of Doom. That's right. Locals have organized, including a website devoted to fighting the project. If you want to support the effort, you can look it up and buy a conversation starter called the Stop the Monkey Farm t-shirt. Really, this is
maybe they're opposed to it because, like me, they're uncomfortable with the idea of doing medical experimentation on these primates.
Oh, you have a problem with that?
Yeah, I mean, as much as medical experimentation has helped, I just I don't know. It seems very cruel to do it on a fellow primate. It's probably the best.
It's the best model that we have for trying out new drugs and therapies and this and that. And I'm not going to lie. I would say I think it's better than testing it on humans.
I would say it's even better than testing it on chimpanzees, gorillas, and orangutans, just because they're closer to us. You know what I mean?
Let's just do it to the ones with tails, okay?
Yeah.
Let's leave all the ones without tails alone. They're our cousins.
Also, if they have a bright purple butt, go ahead, experiment on them. That's weird.
I bet you would offend more people. I'm sure I'm going to offend some people listening just by saying I approve of medical research, but you probably are going to offend some people by saying that you think monkeys are our cousins and relatives.
Well, they are closer. Oh, right. Like people who don't believe in evolution and stuff.
Right.
Okay, I'm just saying from, you can believe what you want to, but on the evolutionary ladder, the monkeys are much closer to us than dogs or pigs, for instance.
No, it depends on who you're dating, but yeah.
Oh my God.
The 2024 Bonnaroo Music and
What's
What?
Buzz's face.
Hey, but I do agree that if you enjoy modern medicine and procedures, it definitely, whatever it is, probably involves some kind of animal experimentation at some point.
It absolutely does. I mean, if you are on
it's kind of hypocritical to say stop all of it, don't experiment on even a chicken. I mean, it's pretty hypocritical.
If you're taking any sort of medication right now, it went through animal trials. It went through animal trials. Ozempic. Well, the 2024 Bonnaroo Music and Arts Festival is here this week. Headliners include Post Malone, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Pretty Lights, and Fred Again. T-Pain is also set to perform. The 4-day annual event starts in Manchester, Tennessee. But if you want to see it, it's going to be live streamed on Hulu. So just get to Hulu, and you can see the schedule of all of the concerts.
Oh, yeah, that sounds a lot better. I'd much rather watch a concert.
Actually, I kind of would too. Yeah. Now, we were talking about hot dogs earlier and hot dog eating contests. Well, there's an emerging trend in hot dog eating, and it's disturbing hot dog purists or wiener purists.
Mm-hmm.
2 polls.
Do you consider yourself a wiener purist?
I don't consider myself a wiener
You don't
purist.
discriminate against wieners.
I don't. No, like I enjoy different styles of wieners.
Mm-hmm.
Like Juarez dogs are different than the Costco style. hot dog.
They're mostly uncircumcised. I mean, I'm sorry.
They're red.
Yeah.
2 polls show that over 19%. Okay, I gotta get
2 polls.
All right. 2 polls show that over 19% of Americans prefer topping their hot dogs with mayonnaise.
Yeah. Well, okay.
It's such a thing now.
Better than ketchup.
You think so?
Mustard is for hot dogs, man.
You think
eating hot
mayo's
dog,
better than ketchup on hot
I've
dogs?
never tried it, but ketchup on a hot dog, you need to stop doing that when you hit about 10 or 12.
How dare you, sir?
Wow.
You like? You could do both. You
I like
could do
both.
ketchup and
I like
mustard.
both on a hot dog.
That's fine.
It's such a thing now that people are even complaining online because Costco doesn't have a mayo condiment for their dog.
Well, you're eating in a place that looks like a prison yard with a pigeon dragging a slice of pizza across the floor. So what do you want?
What are you talking about? Costco's food court is pristine.
Yeah, but it looks
and
like you're having
delicious.
lunch in a prison
It
yard.
is so crowded at Costco at that food court.
I know. But the hot dog, I did notice this one time when I went, because they have like onions that you can slice there and put them on your hot dog. And then they have jalapenos, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Then they have the relish, mustard.
Boy, if there was only some place at Costco where you could go find your own mayonnaise.
Mustard, relish, ketchup, no mayonnaise.
No mayo.
Mayonnaise.
Huh.
The debate online is heated with those opposing the idea, saying things like, mayo on a hot dog is a disease. Get well soon.
Dang.
And those who love it, noting mayo and ketchup are a must. And now I think I need to carry mayo.
Mayo
and
and ketchup?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that.
Joanna, correct me if I'm wrong.
Mayo chip.
Juarez dogs have mayo on them?
Yeah, they do.
I'm pretty sure Juarez.
They've got everything: mayonnaise, ketchup, mustard, and then all the combination is so good.
Yeah.
I thought you only had 2
Aguacate.
news stories to go.
Okay, I'll have one more.
All right. And then, Joanna, are we going to have time for random facts?
Yes.
Okay.
Make this one slowly.
All right.
Make this go slowly.
Slowly? All right.
Yes.
A Texas woman decided to steal a creepy ride.
A creepy ride?
Yeah.
All right.
A mortuary services driver already had a...
She got the hearse, huh?
Yes, she did. A mortuary services driver already had a body in a company vehicle when he stopped at a Fort Worth hospital to pick up another one.
Left the keys in there?
You know, that's not uncommon. I mean, when I was on the ambulance, you don't take the keys with you.
Who's going to steal a hearse?
Or ambulance or fire truck.
Who's going to steal that?
This
And
lady
it's going to
did.
save you precious seconds as the EMT or the hearse driver.
I do remember seeing like horror stories of like national news stories of like, oh, a stranger steals ambulance down the street.
I think, there's a chance somebody's going to steal anytime you leave your keys in the car.
Yeah, but they usually have like GPS on them or...
I bet you somebody's stolen a police. I'm sure they have.
Yeah.
Stolen. I think the Duke brothers did that on Dukes of Hazzard one time.
Well, when the driver of the hearse and the mortuary service went in, the woman allegedly got into his van and took off with the body.
Now, what had she been doing up until that point?
Waiting for the moment to strike. Yeah. Police say the van was quickly located. See, that's the thing. You're not going to get away. They just
They
located
got a good description. You don't look like any other car out there.
But the body was missing. No, just kidding.
No.
A deceased person was still inside. They were returned to the mortuary service. Charges are now pending against the woman. And with the news, I'm Nico.
And now it's time for
Random.
Ooh.
You know what Random Facts does? It satisfies our educational obligation to our audience.
Yeah.
Everybody learns something, including us sometimes. So I have some really, really interesting facts. All of them are random. There's no common theme tying them together, but I have fact-checked all of them and properly sourced them and take a lot of pride in the fact that all of our facts are, for the most part, we've never made a mistake. I just jinxed us, but random fact number 1. The state of Tennessee has a law that specifically grants you permission to take any animal you accidentally run over. Any animal you run over, you have the specific right in Tennessee to use it for, quote, personal use and consumption.
What?
In other words, you are legally given the right to make dinner out of your roadkill in Tennessee.
Yeah, I killed it. I'm going to grill it.
It's mine now.
I wonder if that applies to, like, if you ran over somebody's pet. Like, if you accidentally hit a dog and you thought, well, I'm sorry about your dog, lady, but he's mine
It's
now.
mine now.
Law says I can cook him up and eat him. Dogs are fine meat.
Or people.
Yeah, what if you ran over a person?
Hey, sorry, your
Sorry about that. You
grandma's mine now.
Random fact number 2. The oldest living civilization on Earth is the Aboriginal Australians.
And whatever family you come from.
So, you know, the Aboriginals were there when the white man discovered Australia, right? And they've been living there for a long time. DNA testing confirms that group of people are at least 72,000 years old. So the oldest living civilization on Earth. Coming in second, U.S. presidential candidates. And I have one more random fact for you. Random fact number 3. There is one U.S. town where the traffic lights are upside down.
What does that mean?
So I had to ask Joanna if she could picture a vertical stoplight. What's on top?
Because Buzz can't picture that.
I was like, God, I've seen millions of these things, and I could not tell you. But I guessed, and I was right. So which one's on top on a stoplight?
Red.
You say red?
Yeah.
That's true. In most towns. There's one exception, though. It is a town called Tipperary Hill, and it's part of the greater Syracuse, New York area. And they have stoplights where the green is on top, orange in the middle, and red on the bottom. But there's a very specific reason for it. And
wait, which one is orange?
Yellow.
Do you see yellow as orange?
Orange.
Are you
it's
colorblind?
like, yeah, I am. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like an orangish yellow, I would say.
Okay.
Yellow. All right. So in Tipperary Hill, in 1925, they got their first stoplight. And they were already doing the red on top, yellow in the middle, green on the bottom, even back then. However, having the red light on top did not please the Irish residents. This was mostly an Irish first generation, second generation Irish people lived in Tipperary Hill. And they could not stand the idea that the British red was above the Irish green.
They were like, how dare you?
The light was erected on the corner of Tompkins and Milton Avenue. Some Irish youths who came to be known as the Stone Throwers got things going when they would break every single stoplight that had red on top. And I'm going to turn it over for a little further explanation on this. And this is from the Irish American Historical Society. All right? Here you go. They tell the story about the Stone Throwers and the upside-down traffic lights in Syracuse.
It all started with the stone throwers. These were the sons and grandsons of Irish immigrants on Tip Hill. When the city first installed a traffic light at Tompkins and Milton, they couldn't stand seeing the British red placed over the Irish green. So about a dozen local boys started hurling rocks to break the red light. The city would come and fix the light, but by the next day it would be smashed again. The kids broke every new light again and again until the city gave up. They put a green light over the red, creating the only green over red stoplight in the world.
And from what I'm reading here, I've never been to Syracuse, New York, but they still have the stoplights in that configuration to this day.
Green over red.
Green over red. And those are your random facts for today.
These are just some facts that I learned and was amazing. Everyone should try to learn something new each day.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to...
Broken windows and doors, tabletops.
Break a glass? Call Baker Glass.
See Baker right away.
I want you to hear what this fool is saying.
And now, the big mouth of the border.
This is a whole other level.
Whole other level of insane.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show is back.
Coming back, 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, we had the story about the district attorney, and the district attorney is challenging a judge's ruling that he didn't have jurisdiction over the, I think it's 59 migrants or asylum seekers who were held on charges of rioting. What's the update there, Joanna?
DA Hicks would like to come in and clarify.
Well, let's definitely extend that invitation to District Attorney Bill Hicks.
I just messaged him back, so hoping tomorrow he'll stop by.
Joanna, are you excited about tonight?
Oh, so excited.
It's Cool Canyon Nights. Thursday night means free concert every Thursday night, brought to you by Westar and KLAQ. And who's the entertainment tonight?
EDO.
Yeah, that is?
Electric Dave Orchestra.
The Electric Dave Orchestra. This is Dave Hamilton, who has played in Funky Mungle and, played in a lot of different bands and filled in and, super well known.
He's a professional.
Yeah. So he puts on a show with his electric cello, and he's got other musicians joining him this year. So it's a six-piece band performing the likes of AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, Disturbed, Selena, even Nirvana. And many others. So it's going to be a really unique night of entertainment.
Imagine Como La Flor on an electric cello. That would sound interesting.
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
How
Joanna,
flower is what it sounds like. How flower? Como La Flor.
Joanna, can you sing a little Como La Flor?
God, no. I'm not even going to attempt that at all.
Can you?
No, I can't. Definitely not.
Okay. Hey, Iggy.
Hey, what's up, Buzz?
Hi, Iggy.
I didn't know Iggy was coming by today.
Iggy's going to be on the AfterBuzz.
Oh, great.
He is our AfterBuzz guest. And he's also here to help me promote a show we're both going to be on Saturday. We're going to be doing stand-up comedy in Sierra Blanca for a benefit show.
Other side of the checkpoint or this side of the checkpoint? Because I think that's going to make a big difference to you guys.
Hey, man, I think this is just like one of those warrant roundups. They're just trying to get me. Once I go in, they just cuff me.
Do you have to go past the checkpoint?
That's a really good question.
Or is it on this side of the checkpoint?
Is Sierra Blanca on the other side?
You don't want to be riding dirty if you go past the Sierra Blanca
It is on the other side of the checkpoint. You're right.
What do you think? I'm nervous.
Luck, you guys.
We're going to be at Que Locos Snack Bar. It is a legendary place in Sierra Blanca. Headlining is Ponchi Herrera. You got Iggy Samaniego, myself, and Anthony Austin Brown. Starts at 8 p.m.
Those are heavy hitters in the El Paso comedy scene for sure.
There. It's going to be put on by the sheriff's office. So imagine the sheriff's office and Iggy in the same room.
How about you? You put it off on Iggy like you don't routinely break the law.
Not as, okay.
You just never been caught.
You're just a different color.
Yeah.
No, that's, what?
It's white privilege.
It's not. You're making me sound like some mastermind here.
What happens anytime the cops... Describe what happens anytime the cops or Border Patrol or anybody else talks to you guys and how they treat you as opposed to how they treat, for instance...
They treat me like a perp and they apologize to Nico.
Well,
I'm sorry you have to go through this.
Well,
but,
the difference is that
spread them up against car.
The difference is we're getting pulled over into secondary because Iggy's green card is expired or something.
What?
You should use your privilege to shield
I
Iggy
don't
from all
have
that.
Just say All-American.
Yeah,
this time you can
speak
say
for
we're
both of
going
them.
to do a charity event for the police.
So you think that we should just lie to them?
No, you
Are
are
you
going
not
to do a
doing
charity
an
event.
event?
No, but we're not all American.
By the way, my green card's not expired. It's just cut in half.
Iggy's so American, he's going to vote illegally for Trump.
Not a bad idea.
Anyways, that's why we get pulled over. And my white privilege does not blanket him as much as...
Yeah, but it blankets you.
All right, yeah.
What do you think? I got a blonde girlfriend, man.
That's a good point.
I want to get a contestant for our Father's Day prize. That's the other thing Joanna is doing. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
God, they know Iggy's here.
We could hear
Great.
a siren going down the street in front of the station. If nobody else could hear that, we could definitely hear it. Sunland Park Racetrack and Casino tomorrow. Joanna is going to be there from 4 to 6, and I want to give one of the prize packages. Here's what Joanna has to give away tomorrow from 4 to 6 at Sunland Park Racetrack. She has every 15 minutes, by the way, every 15 minutes, it is a prize package, a $50 Home Depot card, plus a $50 gift certificate for Coralito Steakhouse. And they're going to do one every 15 minutes. That's a total of 8, 4 to 6 at Sunland Park Racetrack and Casino.
I have the gift cards.
Ooh.
Oh, you do?
I do.
You gonna play any slots while you're there, or video poker or anything like that?
Are you going to take your sister?
My mom wants to go.
Your mom wants to go.
She's like,
Right.
oh, the casino.
A lot of fun to be had in that little neck of the woods.
Conveniently right across from Western
Playland. Let's give away the prize package. I got a dad's quiz. You can give this to your dad. You can keep it for yourself. You could give your dad one of the cards and you keep the other. However you want to do it, but you could win it. I got a pretty simple dad quiz. So let's go ahead and get caller number 10 and call in the studio line. That number is 915-910-4995. That's 915-910-4995. And caller 10 will be ready to go with us here in just a few minutes. I'm going to have a true crime report coming up. We've got the AfterBuzz that we're going to do today. Did you say Iggy's going to be a guest on the AfterBuzz today?
He is.
All right, great. I'll get to that true crime report here in just a few moments. You had a couple of updates. I got a couple of stories here. You got one and I got one. They both kind of they're related to Elon Musk.
You want me
one way or another?
You want to talk about the porn one?
Yeah, the porn one. The porn in the Amazon jungle. I guess a bunch of undiscovered tribes people got high-speed internet thanks to Elon Musk, and they all started watching porn and not.
They did
doing
not all start watching porn. That's my update.
But how were they able to punch in? Whatever genre, you know what I'm saying? How do they
even know what to search for?
Like Asians or
docking? What's that?
Their language is all probably clicks and whistles. Search for big.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a great question. How would they adapt to the internet so quickly?
I don't know that they would look up the boobs one because they're tribes people, like the women already walk around topless.
Topless, big deal. How about search for boobs that don't hang down to your knees?
What's the point?
Did you see the live call we got?
That's our contestant.
Oh, okay, cool.
We'll come back to this after we do our Father's Day contest. So, the New York Times has actually written a follow-up story because they're the ones who talked about the tribes people. And they say that they are not all addicted to internet porn.
Not yet.
But the guy who wrote, not yet. The guy who wrote the original article also wrote this article. So it's not really a retraction. But we'll get to that coming up here in just a few minutes. I believe we have Sam on the line. Hi, Sam.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good, Sam. You dad? You got a dad? What's the situation?
Yep, I'm a dad, and I got a dad and a father-in-law. So.
Yeah, do whatever you want to with these gift cards. All you have to do is get 3 in a row. I'm going to tell you the name of a person, and you tell me who their famous dad is. Okay? And
all right.
My goal is to have a winner here. Right off the bat. I don't want this to go on.
Yeah, I didn't get back up, so.
All right, I'm going to give you and I'm going to make it intentionally ridiculously easy, and I'll even give you a miss. If you miss one, you can go back and make it up at the end, okay? You got to get 3, though. All right, here we go.
Sounds good. I guess.
Again, ridiculously simple so that we can get a winner here with Sam. I will name the celebrity. You name their famous father. Ken Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey Jr. Ken Griffey Sr.
Hey.
All right, next one. Wolfgang Van Halen.
Eddie Van Halen?
Eddie Van Halen is correct. Now, I saved a tough one for the last. This might be a little tough, but again, if you do miss this one, I'll give you another one, all right?
Sounds good.
Khloe Kardashian. Once again, that's
Bruce Jenner.
Yeah.
God, do I count that?
You do.
It's stepfather.
That doesn't matter.
I'll give it to you.
Okay, Robert Kardashian.
Hey.
Robert Kardashian, but then we were going to debate, is that true or was O.J. Simpson actually?
Would you have also accepted O.J.?
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even consider the Bruce Jenner, and it's Caitlyn, by the way, now, Sam.
Yes.
And I was thinking, yeah.
He will always be her dad, okay?
If whoever the contestant, in this case it turns out, if Sam thinks she looks more like OJ than Robert Kardashian, I'll accept that. That's what he's going to go with. All right, we got the prize package for you, so you can come by and pick that up today or tomorrow, or if you don't get to it, it'll be late for Father's Day. You can come get it next week.
Sounds good.
Hang tight. Joanna's just going to get a little more information from you, but congratulations and thanks for playing.
All right, thank you.
All right, happy Father's Day weekend, everybody. Don't forget Father's Day is coming up.
Psyched about Father's Day?
They make wonderful gifts for Father's Day, too.
It's a perfect gift for anyone.
Give that something this Sunday. That's not a gift you'll throw away. All you have to do is try. Please, not another mug or tie.
Not another coffee mug or necktie. I beg you.
Father's Day, another year. Time to show who you hold dear. Here's a tip on what to buy. Please, not another mug or tie.
Thank you very much.
As I said, we have a couple of tangential Elon Musk stories. Well, this one involves him a lot. SpaceX and CEO Elon Musk were sued on Wednesday by 8 engineers who say they were fired for raising concerns about alleged sexual harassment and discrimination against women. The engineers, 4 women and 4 men, claim Musk ordered their firing in 2022 after they circulated a letter calling the billionaire a distraction and embarrassment. Well, hold on a second. Now, I can see if you brought up harassment, that's one thing, but when you call the guy who signs your checks an embarrassment and what?
A distraction.
A distraction. Maybe that's what you got fired for. The lawsuit says Musk's conduct fostered a pervasively sexist culture at SpaceX where female engineers were routinely subjected to harassment and sexist comments, and their concerns about workplace culture were ignored.
So that's just kind of the tip of the iceberg. Supposedly Elon Musk, and this is documented, has propositioned several female executives at his companies to bear his children. And
I like to have children and give them names that sound like mathematical equations. What do you say? Are you game?
Do you know how many kids he has?
No.
I think like 10.
Elon does?
Yeah. From like 6 different women.
Isn't his dad
Sorry,
like
11. He has 11 children.
Why does everybody make fun of Nick Cannon but not Elon Musk?
I know, right?
I smell a little racism there.
But wait, if you're an engineer lady, wouldn't you want to get pregnant by a genius dude? Like, you're already smart and then...
Yeah, not if you're forced because they're your boss.
Yeah, right. I don't think you want to have anything forced on you.
Well, he's smarter than them, so he knows better.
I think Hey, he's the boss.
He has, and they're all from different mothers.
All 11 are from
many are from different mothers.
Grimes is one of them.
I mean, that's just one.
Yeah, but that's the kid that he named A squared equals 3 to the 7th power XYZ or whatever.
So anyway, he is well known for propositioning good-looking women at his companies and asking them just to bear his children. And several have agreed. And are the mothers to his children.
That's weird. Are you sure?
Yes, I am. Also,
well, that I could see how that would be an issue as an employer, going around asking people to bear your children.
And intern that he began several interns he began sexual relationships with that are now been promoted to executive positions at the company. I mean, all kinds of little stuff that's just weird.
Listen, there are protections for whistleblowers. Calling your boss an embarrassment. I don't know if there are protections for that.
Yeah, it seemed like they had another bone to pick with him.
The other story is last month the New York Times reported that a remote tribe in the Amazon who are hunters and gatherers have high-speed internet because of Elon Musk's Starlink satellite system. And why don't you take over the story from here, because this is really yours.
Sure. So Elon Musk just shared a tweet recently that is a New York Times retraction of a story that they published last week. And I actually reported on this.
Corrections and retractions.
According to the New York Times headline, quote, "No, a remote Amazon tribe did not get addicted to porn."
This isn't not really a retraction because it's written by the same guy who wrote the original thing. And he said other sources took what I had written and ran with it and made it like the entire tribe had gotten addicted to porn. And he clarifies, the author of this story said that he trekked 50 miles into the Amazon wilderness to talk to these people who had recently been given high-speed internet.
The Marubo people.
Jack Nikas wrote the original story, and he wrote this. And what he's saying is that other sites and sources, such as the New York Post.
New York Post is one, but about 100 other websites published articles with headlines that said, Marubo people addicted to porn.
So the tribe in the Amazon, you got to go, like hack your way through the jungle to even find these people. They got high-speed internet 9 months ago. And this is Jack Nikas, who wrote the New York Times article, and what he saw when he visited the tribe, deep in the heavy jungle.
Right away, the internet was a huge hit, and people were on it all the time, so much that it became a problem for the hunting and the farming that are necessary for their way of life. And so what the Marubo leaders did is nowadays, in almost all of the villages, the internet is only on for several hours in the morning and several hours in the evening, and then all day Sunday.
Just another quote from...
Hey, man, in their defense, what else are they supposed to look up? Baseball? They don't know baseball exists. You know what I mean?
Well, they didn't have the internet before. They're literally going from zero internet to internet.
Show me different recipes for snakes.
I'm sure just learning about the world could be some of those things.
It wasn't long before a boob showed up.
Well, anyways,
clarify, and one of the tribal leaders had a statement.
You want me to give his statement?
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember, this is an not really uncontacted, but a very primitive Stone Age tribe, you might say.
Well, let me just say what Nick, what was his name again?
Jack
Nikas goes on to say in his retraction story. Not retraction. Well, he does a kind of.
This was one part of the story that some other more salacious sources, like the New York Post, kind of expanded on. They're all addicted to porn, and took that.
He goes on to say, the Marubo people are not addicted to pornography. There was no hint of this in the forest, and there was no suggestion of it. All right. And Enoke Marubo, he's the tribal leader for the Marubo people. He also raised an objection to the sensational claims globally as they, remember, tribal leader.
Stone Age primitive tribe.
Right. This is what Enoke Marubo said, as the sensational claims globally as they reflect a prejudiced ideological current that disrespects our autonomy and our identity.
White, the Stone Age tribal leader.
You're surprised that these primitive people did something primitive like look up sex? Like that's if they looked up.
No, I'm saying, where did he get his law degree? Yale or Harvard?
Yeah. Reflect a prejudiced ideological current that disrespects our autonomy and our identity.
Wow. Now
Very eloquent tribal leader.
Now even Stone Age primitive tribes are getting all woke on us.
Well, they have the internet now. They can be. No, they're saying they didn't look up porn.
They did.
Somebody did.
Well, somebody had to have shown it to them.
Unless they blocked it, unless they had all the parental blocks, somebody in that tribe figured out.
While claims about porn addiction are false, Enoke Marubo told the New York Times that some minors did share pornography in a WhatsApp group chat. WhatsApp.
Wow.
WhatsApp.
They got into a WhatsApp right away.
Yeah, seriously.
Even like cavemen would do like stick figure. You know, like hieroglyph stick figure chicks with boobs. Like it's natural, man.
Or that rock that kind of like looks like a lady with big butt and big boobs and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, is this coming from
worn out?
Is this coming from?
That might have been the original pornography.
Is the original sex doll?
Man, I really need it. Luckily, I have my trusty rock shaped like a buxom woman in my pocket.
Now, is this coming from one porn addict to another?
Look at both of them.
I don't watch smut.
Alone.
I also imagine like if the chicks in your tribe walk around usually topless, you probably look up girls with shirts on. Like, yeah, that'll turn you on. The opposite.
Girls with shirts, no bone in lip. Okay.
No, bone in mouth.
Bone in mouth. I've got a true crime report that's coming up here in just a few minutes. We'll get into our true crime report. Iggy is here. Iggy Samaniego is very fine El Paso comic. Promote your
show. Yep.
Sierra Blanca show.
Sierra Blanca this Saturday, 8 p.m. at Que Locos Snack Bar. Headlining Ponchi Herrera. We've got Anthony Austin Brown, myself, and Iggy Samaniego.
And also, man, can I plug in my? I was in this TV show, my acting debut. This TV show called Aim for the Heart in Chicano Hollywood TV streaming app.
Sounds like a Hallmark movie.
Oh, it's not, man. I get killed in it. They they chop off my trigger finger. It's gnarly, man.
What?
Yeah, and I actually had an accident on set. Can I tell? Can I tell the story?
Let me just summarize it. Iggy pulled the ligaments in his rectum.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I busted my exhaust pipe.
Yeah. His prison wallet.
I've heard about people doing extreme things to get cast in a movie.
Speaking of porn.
Some people had some comments about the hot dog story, and your story was that people are upset that you can't get mayonnaise at the at the Costco.
That the percentage of people who say they want mayonnaise on hot dogs is higher than ever, and some people are just grossed out by that.
Yes, Buzz, I love mayonnaise on my hot dogs, especially the jumbo ones from Walmart. Oh, they're delicious. Okay, have a blessed day.
Is this Mondo doing an impression of Chewy just pranking us?
Hey, what's going on, morning?
No, that's Born Again Christian guy.
Friend.
I know.
We have callers that we know their voices so well. We just know it is them.
Iggy's one of them. What are you talking about?
Man, Iggy's not
But Iggy's not doing like a.
I try to disguise my voice, but
he's totally doing a shtick.
Hey, what's going on, morning show? Back with the hot dog thing real quick. First of all, mayonnaise in your hot dog is disgusting. Get out of here, man. But do you remember, what is it? I think it was Bad News Bears, where the guy goes, my dad says, the only people that put ketchup on their hot dogs are crazy people and Texans. But ketchup's good, man. You can't go wrong with ketchup and mustard. A little bit of relish. There we go. All right, anyways, y'all have a good morning.
Onions.
Like
onions. Hot dog's not complete without some onions on it. I like that.
I worked at Costco for 12 years. And my wife never made me, my wife at the time never made me lunch. So I ate Costco hot dogs straight, like 12 years straight for lunch, man. So I'm an expert in the subject.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I would smuggle in my own mustard, my own mayonnaise, I mean.
You would smuggle in your own because you wanted mayonnaise on your hot dog?
Yeah, or sometimes when they were like sample chili beans, I would go to the chili beans and then put it on the hot dog.
Well, I mean, if you're at Costco and you really want mayonnaise, go back to the condiment aisle and buy some mayonnaise. You'll have to buy enough to last you for 20 years.
Now you just put a scoop and return it, man.
There you go. All right, take a break. We'll come back. We've got the True Crime Report on the way and more of the Buzz Adams Morning Show coming up right after this.
Party artist interviews, Zoom music discoveries, celebrating artists' birthdays, commemorating releases, champion of all things rock.
Go to ZipRecruiter.e. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Enderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
Washington hitting the second, 10.8 remaining, but still a 7-point game, and that's going to do it. The Boston Celtics are one win away from an NBA title. They hold off a furious comeback attempt and now have a 3-0 lead here in these NBA Finals.
Yeah, that's the final call. Boston Celtics beat the Dallas Mavericks 106-99. Game 3, they're now up 3-0. And
if they win one more, they win?
Yeah, I think it's... Look, the Mavs looked as good as they have in this series last night, and the Celtics looked, I mean, they were still good, but they were a little off from their home wins. Yeah. So the Celtics, had good performances. Kyrie for the Mavericks was on. Luka was on, even though he fouled out in the fourth quarter. I just don't see there's any way that the Mavericks crawl out of this hole. I doubt. It would be hard-pressed to think that they can win another game.
How was Kyrie playing?
Kyrie was playing good. Kyrie got involved. He was more aggressive than he'd been in the previous 2 games where he'd really kind of, I won't say invisible, but had not contributed as much as you want one of your superstars like Kyrie Irving to contribute.
You follow basketball, Iggy?
Nah, man. I pretend I do, but...
Okay, so when it comes to football, El Paso's interesting. I would say the majority Cowboy fans, but you got a lot of fans of other teams as well.
I know that, man, because I got a Packers tattoo on my forearm, so I get crap for it all the time.
From the Cowboy fans?
Yeah.
As far as basketball, I bet you there are more Laker fans in El Paso than there are Dallas Maverick fans. Like, we don't have the same attitude toward the other sports.
Yeah, we're too far west.
And as baseball, I think we're kind of like a Dodgers town.
Yeah, true. Willie Barcena was going to open a Dodgers-themed restaurant here. I probably shouldn't have said that, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I know Willie is a real hot dog aficionado. Like, he loves trying hot dogs in different parks.
Let me text him, see if he likes mayonnaise on this.
Right. I imagine he'll give you whatever the options for a Dodger dog are. All right, you ready for today's True Crime Report?
Yeah,
let's hear it. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Here goes. Oops, sorry.
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast.
Actual crime stories from around the world and across the nation.
Hey, that's against the law. You're coming with me.
And we got several stories to get to. First of all, a guy had a birthday party, but he threw a huge tantrum and started shooting a gun. And then a police helicopter showed up, and he started shooting the gun at the police helicopter.
Whoa.
Is this Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah, seriously.
A guy in Southern California is facing charges stemming from his 39th birthday party. It happened in March, but the charges were just announced. 39-year-old Justin Jennings was doing some heavy drinking at his party. I'm not going to criticize the guy for that. It's your birthday. You got to party like it's your birthday. Come on, shouty. He started causing a scene that didn't involve a gun. Some of his family members started to leave. As they were filtering out, he grabbed a rifle and unloaded a full, it says magazine, so it must have been like a semi-automatic or something.
Probably an AR, yeah.
He unloaded a full magazine inside the house.
Oh, my gosh.
Which had everybody fleeing for the door. One of the family members called police, and a police helicopter started circling outside. Now, I know, Nico, you and I don't know what that's like.
Are you going to ask Iggy?
The ghetto bird? Yeah.
The ghetto bird. So, Mr. Jennings, the birthday boy, started shooting at the helicopters. Well, that's a big no-no. He continued firing at the police helicopter for at least 20 minutes but eventually surrendered. Amazingly, no one was hurt. He is facing charges for attempting to damage, destroy, or disable an aircraft. Something tells me that's the least of the charges. He is facing 20 years in federal prison for shooting at a police helicopter.
Oh, my God.
In Texas, Optimus Prime was arrested for driving a stolen vehicle.
He stole himself?
Yeah. If you're Optimus Prime, just transform. Don't steal a vehicle, just transform.
Technically, he is an illegal alien.
Okay, well, it's not Optimus Prime from Transformers. It's a man whose name is Optimus Prime Blakely.
That is such a badass name. I'm sorry.
Optimus Prime Blakely.
I love that.
Police in Austin, Texas, arrested Optimus Prime for driving a stolen vehicle. 37-year-old Optimus Prime Blakely. Optimus was stopped by officers last week after he was seen driving a vehicle that had been reported stolen.
You know how they knew who he was? Because he was a prime suspect.
Ha! Hey.
Oh, Joanna.
Optimus Prime was taken to Travis County Jail, being held on an $8,000 bond at last report. A father says, yeah, this is a bad story for Father's Day week. Yeah. A father says his a-hole son tried to murder him. The 52-year-old son is named Sean Bigwood. And he was arrested after driving from South Carolina to Florida and trying to kill his father. Mr. Bigwood, the son, showed up at his dad's house and started shooting. Just, started rat-tat-tat at the place. He fired dozens of shots. He did hit his father. Also, he hit his father's friend who was there to help his dad, and this is the police report, set up a pig trap.
What?
Both of the victims are going to recover. The investigation took a few months, so it happened back in February. But Sean's dad knew that he was the culprit when he called 911. He said, and I quote, "I can't believe my a-hole son shot me up." The motive was supposedly a property dispute, but the report notes that the father and son have not been on good terms for a while. 53-year-old man held up a bank, but instead of using a note, he used an iPad. 53-year-old man in Las Vegas, Donald Malone, tried to rob a bank, and instead of passing a paper note to the clerk, he showed them a pre-written note on an iPad. It said, "Give me large bills only, don't try anything, and don't give any trackers or die packs."
That's kind of smart, man, because if you do a note, you leave your DNA or fingerprint behind.
Iggy's like applauding this criminal.
I condone this.
The teller activated a silent alarm, and another worker approached. The robber got spooked and ran off. The next morning, he tried it again at a different bank. Mr. Malone showed up with his iPad in hand. This time, I guess he had edited his text because it said, "I am heavily armed. Don't move and don't be suspicious and act like nothing is going on." The teller handed him nearly $1,000 in cash, which is not even enough to buy an iPad. Police caught up with Malone and charged him with robbery, burglary, and attempted robbery. They also confiscated the iPad. And I've got another story here. Just an FYI. In California, it is not illegal to teach second graders while you're drunk. We know this because the DA has decided not to file criminal charges. A few months ago, 57-year-old second grade teacher named Wendy Munson was arrested when she was found to have been teaching while intoxicated. She was hammered. Police report says her blood alcohol level was more than 2 times the legal limit. And that was after 2 hours after the police were called. But yesterday, the district attorney dropped the charges, saying while it's highly inappropriate, it is not illegal to teach drunk.
Should be mandatory. Does it say what she taught? Because that
second grade, you teach it, right?
Oh,
you
yeah,
teach everything.
Yeah.
The kids couldn't cut her inside the line. She just got frustrated.
You could do that drunk.
The 2 criminal charges could have been for DUI, for driving to school drunk. You know, she brought her own vehicle, so they could have charged her with something. And child endangerment.
She could have drank in the parking lot right before work, like Nico does here. Like,
oh, shut up.
Investigators could not prove that the children had been endangered or that Munson, the teacher, was drunk when she arrived at school. As silly as this might sound, her defense that she was drinking while she was teaching is what got her off of the hook. Well, off the hook of the criminal charges. They still fired her.
I had 2 teachers when I was going to school that you could tell they would get drunk.
I had a teacher, it was my French teacher, and she was suddenly not there one day, and all the other kids said, oh yeah, I didn't know what alcohol smelled like, but they're like, we could smell it on her breath. She was drunk every afternoon.
Why did she have perfume in her mouth?
You don't think that's just being French?
No, because they said I saw the bottle, and it was like a bottle of like whiskey or whatever she had at her desk. Munson, the teacher, no longer appears on the school's directory. Parents say that she's not teaching there anymore, so it sounds like she got fired. If you're wondering, she wasn't just sipping on a Mai Tai at the end of a long day. The cops were called at around 8:20 a.m., so she had been drinking prior to 8:20 a.m.
She had 10 Long Island iced teas.
No. I think if you're drinking on the sly like that, you're probably just, you're probably not mixing up drinks. You're probably just drinking straight out of a flask. You got a serious 8:20 in the morning.
She's got a fifth of vodka stuffed in her bra somewhere.
Yeah, what is she, a stand-up comic?
But anyway, just so you know, I guess at least in this part of California, not against the law to teach second graders while drunk.
Want to keep your child from falling behind over the summer?
I sure do.
Are you okay with their teacher being a little tipsy?
Excuse me?
Well, at Drink and Learning Center, we're passing the savings on to you.
All right, kid, what's the square root of 16?
I don't know.
Me neither. Math is hard, man.
Okay.
Now I'm going to teach you the alphabet. Just don't ask me to say the alphabet backwards like that cop did the other night.
Your breath stinks.
I know. I'm going to take a nap under the desk for a while. Why don't you jump on your iPad or something?
Drink and Learning Center. Let our drunk teachers mold your child's young mind today.
Well, that's it. Show's over. What? We just started.
Yeah, well, the show's over.
That's the end.
That's not the end.
Why, yes, it is. Right. That's the end.
And that's the end. That's the end.
The morning show will be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. Now.